Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your charming self-proclaimed yet still humble host, Mukluk. Today we are back for Guild Wars Tuesday. That's right, we are back in the wonderful world of Guild Wars 2, which is Tyria, by the way. Did you know that? Hello there. Hi Muk, hi Soap Bubble. How you doing? I see you. Let's see, we are back on the, I should be on the EU servers. Hold on, let me do a double check. Yes, I am on the EU servers, visiting the friends from across the pond. And we got some cool stuff coming up. Today, I believe, is when the push beta is going to come back for PvP, the push game mode. And also, I believe we are 2 weeks out. I think the estimated release date for the last Janthir patch was June 3rd, which is 2 weeks from today. Which is when, like, the Legendary Backpack, the new Fractal comes out, Convergence Challenge Mode, the new Fractal Challenge Mode, and a handful of other things all come out on that day. Hey Muk, you'll be my fishing backdrop. I'm happy to help. Muk, is Expedition 33 done? I think I might have one more day of it. So tomorrow morning might be the last Expedition 33 stream. And it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. So Expedition 33 has been an absolutely amazing game. However, the endgame stuff, it is possible to get your character completely broken. Like, to the point where you're one-shotting the bosses at the end of the game. I don't like that. Now, obviously, I'm just one person. I'm only speaking of what, I like and dislike. But it's like, I find, like, a really tough boss at the end of the game, and I'm like, oh, shoot, this guy's a challenge. This is going to be crazy. And I start practicing it, and 30 minutes later, I've got his parry windows down, I got the dodge windows down, I know I can jump certain attacks, etc. And I'm like, okay, he's got a phase 2, alright. Oh, don't use shield, he steals my shields, blah, blah, blah. And I'm figuring it out. And then he's got one mechanic that I can't figure out. And I'm like, alright, I've tried blocking this, parrying this, countering this, and dodging this, jumping this. I can't avoid this. Is this unavoidable? I've tried everything I could think of. I'm assuming this is unavoidable. Let me double check online. I'm going to Google very carefully because I don't want to spoil myself. And I look online. First thing I see is a video of someone one-shotting the boss. And I'm just like, I lose all respect for the boss and I lose interest in it. You know? Like, when I got to the final boss of Brutal V Rising, I spent 7 hours figuring it out and then killing it. And I was really proud of that. But in Expedition 33, it's hard to feel any pride for taking down any of the bosses when there's so many ways to just one-shot kill them. So it's like, I don't even want to invest the time into it. That said, those are some, like, really broken endgame builds. That when you get to, like, New Game plus, I don't know how many, they don't work anymore. But it makes me more willing to put the game down without finishing some of the tough bosses. Because it's like, okay, well, I can keep learning it this way, or just change builds and one-shot the thing. Let's see, what was the final count for the Asura plushies? 746 Asuras have found homes. And they are in queue for production. It was your challenge to fight the boss your way? Yeah, in the case of the one big boss that I had remaining in the game, while I was trying to look up, like, if there was a way to handle that unblockable, undodgeable, unparryable, unjumpable, uncounterable move, I stumbled upon the fact that he had another mechanic I hadn't gotten to yet. And normally I hate spoilers, but this one, it feels like it just saved me time. Apparently, because you in Expedition 33, and this is a super minor spoiler on a optional boss fight at the end of the game. In Expedition 33, you've got 5 people, and you can have 3 of them as your front line. The other 2 just stand in the back. I picked the 3 I enjoyed playing, and the other 2, I didn't even bother building them up. Okay? And apparently on that this optional final guy, he has an ability he uses at a certain health point where he kills your whole front line, and you have to use the back line to finish the fight. Unless you take him from above the health percentage where he uses that all the way to dead in one go. So, it forces you to build up characters you may have never bothered using. Octopath Traveler 2 did that to me, and I had to spend like 8 hours off stream setting the other characters up and getting them ready to do just the last fight because I didn't, I hadn't been playing them. And again, it made me lose interest in it. It's like, yeah, as characters, like they're well written and I love them in the story. I didn't like their kits, so I didn't want to play them, you know? So that has made me lose interest in finishing that one fight. Who's your favorite character? If you mean to play, Monoko. The gestural that shapeshifts. He's a lot of fun. If you mean like in writing, they're all really good. Like none of them are shallow. Like a lot of them, all of them have a lot of depth that they go into. Like, there was the whole, like, CL with, like, her trying to get her husband back and what happened to her kid. And, like, the whole, like, swimming trauma and things like that. Lune with the pressure her parents put on her. And how logical she is, even when the others are, like, emotionally falling apart. Which also she's just so logical, it almost makes her immune to, like, certain psychic attacks. Verso, who's like an okay guy, but he's lived for way too long because he's like over 100 years old. Mael, with her head being such a mess with all the stuff she knows.
Hey, look, it's the
tree
of birds.
If I said it, it would be a spoiler. Like, they're all solidly written, in my opinion. But in terms of like gameplay, I hate playing CL. CL's kit is like a rogue from World of Warcraft. It's a combo point system. It's I use ability A and build up points, and I use ability B and spin points. And she just does that. And I find that boring. I've done that in too many games. It's fine. Some people enjoy it. I don't. So I never bother playing her. But she's part of, a combo that one-shot kills a lot of stuff. So most people recommend it. I think at FF6, where you have to break the group up and fight with 3 different teams. Man, what are some other games I've done? So Octopath Traveler 2... I was at the final boss, and I had to, like I said, grind levels and also, like, do gear and stuff for, like, 8 hours to get the party members I wasn't using up to the point where they were ready for the fight. Now, to be fair, in Octopath, they didn't even have XP share. So your people that you weren't using were, like, level 1 still. So, I had to power level them up to endgame. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, I think, had a point in the game where the party members you weren't using were defending the town while you were off fighting the big bad. So you had to have them ready for a fight too. But yeah, any game that's like, Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy or whatever, where you've got like a team of people and then you choose which ones are the ones that you're actively playing. Any of those games that like near the end there's a point where it forces you to use all of them at once, I freaking hate that. I freaking hate that. I know some people love it, right? I get it. They're not going to cater to me. That's fine. I understand that. I'm just saying I freaking hate that. BG3 XP system is perfect. True. Also in BG3, though, you can respec anyone into anything. So let's pretend you've got Lae'zel in your party, and she's, I don't know, let's just say fighter. And you really like fighter. And then because of some quest, Lae'zel runs off to do something. You can respec Karlach to become a fighter and take the exact place Lae'zel was filling in your team and keep going. Like, it's really good. Like, if you have a favorite team comp, you can make that team comp even if someone has to leave for a while because of quest reasons. So yeah, BG3 has a really good way of doing it. Like, Lae'zel is still Lae'zel, whether you make her a fighter, a wizard, or anything in between. When's the last chapter patch for Janthir? Their website says it's estimated June 3rd, which is 2 weeks from today. It's also nice for newbies to try out stuff. Yes. Dude, it was... So I'm in the middle of an honor mode playthrough of BG3, where if my party wipes, it's game over. And someone told me that you can pickpocket withers, and he doesn't even care. And I tried it, and it works. So, like, I would pay, like, in the early game when I don't have much money, I would pay gold to respec and then just pickpocket it back. Wait, did I just get... Wait, what? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Did I just get that? Dude, where... What? Did I just get an ascended armor box from a treasure chest on a cliff? I didn't know that was possible. Huh. Well. Now, to be fair, it's obviously super rare because this character's been here for like over a year. I did not know that that was possible. I didn't even know those were in the loot table here. That's wild.
You shame yourselves.
Nah, I'm good. I hate honor mode because I can't F8 my missed attacks. I mean, technically, you can't. I've already figured out a way to save scum in honor mode, but it involves Windows Task Manager, and it's definitely against the spirit of honor mode. So just after figuring out that I could do it, I haven't done it since then. We had a fight last night that ended with 2 members of the party downstate. Smashed a potion bottle over their heads to get them back up. It was close. And it was dumb too. We were fighting 4 dudes. There was 1 dude left. He wasn't that strong. We had him at 3 hit points. And then I missed a 75% chance to hit, a 65% chance, a 65% chance, a 60% chance, a 60% chance. I missed all of those. And then I hit him on the next one. But I was like, this thing is possibly going to kill some of my characters if I don't get some damage in. That's why I temporarily took Will off the team, as his Eldritch Blast had like 16 misses in a row, and I'm like, alright, I need someone who does guaranteed damage. Things like Moonbeam, where it's like, if they resist, they still take half. I needed some guaranteed damage in the party. I got a precursor drop from those treasure chests once. That's awesome, Shad. Spooky Muck. What's up, Blue? Will's been like that for my whole playthrough. Yeah, I do like Will's spell Cloud of Daggers because it recharges every short rest and it's, you know, guaranteed damage. However, it's not as good as Moonbeam because Moonbeam you can move it around and it'll hit the enemy basically twice every turn. Once when you move it onto them, and again at the start of their turn, then they move out of it, and then you just do that over and over. As long as you have concentration. Cloud of Daggers is a good AoE. Mm-hmm. Guys, look at me! I'm so curvy! Are you gonna put out an announcement video for the big 7th streaming anniversary? I need to. Yes, I need to do that. I gotta figure out what I am going to say. I might need to replace my mouse. I use this mouse, like, how much do I stream? Like 55 hours per week? And I've had it for a couple years. It's starting to like flake a lot, you know, like the plastic. Like there's huge indentions where my fingers go. I've been using it for a while, but it's like flaking a lot right now. And I tried cleaning it up before the stream with a paper towel, but it's not doing good. Which mouse? It's falling apart. Yeah, it's just wear and tear. Like this has been great. I've shown you guys the mouse graveyard, the Logitech mouse graveyard I have. This is the first Razer mouse I tried buying, and I bought it years ago, and it has been fantastic, and I'm totally going to buy just another one of these. Which mouse is it? It is a Razer Basilisk. It is... Here, hold on. It's got green lights on it, which are not showing because the green screen. It's a Razer Basilisk. And it's dirty, and it's worn down because I've had it for so long. But, yeah, there's, like, indentions on the side from my fingers, and, it's flaking a lot right now. But yeah, it's really good. Honestly, with how many hundreds to thousands of hours I have used this mouse, I would recommend it. It's great. But it's fallen apart just from wear and tear over the years. Or they move out of the beam or hit you with AoE. Does the AI target you with AoE still? You asking if in BG3 does the enemy AoE you? Yeah, from time to time. Yeah, even at low levels, flaming arrows. Like the very early goblins you fight, they'll shoot flaming arrows in between your party members and splash all of them if you're close enough together. Let's see. I have a Razer Viper Mini. I've had it for 3 years now. It's an awesome mouse. Yeah.
At Jinxie Malinia, I think Muck mentioned this before. I just wonder if it's worth it.
Wait, what? At Jinxie. I'm scrolling up. What did Jinxie say? I don't see it. Renan, thank you for the sub. I feel like I just got pulled into the middle of a conversation. Where is Beavis? There's Beavis. There's Combs. There's Honey. Boop. Not really, I was hoping you'd see it. They asked about putting glyphs in the boxes of the homestead. Oh, I mean, what's the question? Yes, you can put glyphs in the boxes of the homestead. I have a volatile glyph in mine. Was there a question? Hang on, let me look at your chat history running just a sec. Is volatile magic the same amount? It's supposed to be, yeah. Let's see, do you lose your glyphs when you put them in those boxes, or can you take them back out? You can take them back out. Is the loot the same? There was a while where it was definitely less, but I believe they fixed it. Here, hang on a second. I'll show you if it'll put your mind at ease. Give me a minute. I got a Razer Trinity. It's nice as a switchable panel. You can have 2, 5, or 12 ones. I actually bought that before I had this one, and I tried it out, and I didn't care for it, and I ended up returning it because the place I got it from had a good return policy. And then I ended up getting this one, and I've been happy with this one ever since. When is the final Janthir patch? 2 weeks if they stick to their schedule. Alright, so harvesting collection box, manage glyph, and you could hit return glyph, and then it will go back to you. And then you can put it back in when you want to. So technically every day you could put glyph in, hit harvest all, take glyph out. It's a couple of clicks, but it would be faster than doing everything manually if you wish to do that. And as far as the same amount of volatile magic, I certainly can't just like do all the math right now, but it is supposed to be, yes. The beam can be moved without breaking sync. The AI doesn't tend to target you, at least in the AoE. They just tend to stand there next to the bubble. Takes the edge off early game honor mode for sure. Wait, who in the what now? So wait, you're saying you've got like a druid with sanctuary on them, so they're invulnerable, and they are moving moonbeams around? Weird. So far, it's been the closest fight has been the phase spider. That was really rough. Last night we fought the owlbear, which with its honor mode legendary action, it called in reinforcements. And it wasn't too bad, honestly. We had a couple of levels advantage on it, so we were able to handle it pretty well. It hit hard, of course, but we were fine. Let's see. Arborstone. Yeah, the Razer Trinity was my first time trying a mouse that had 5 buttons or 9 buttons or 12 buttons on the left-hand side. And I learned something out about myself with that, and it was that 2 buttons on the left is just fine for me.
This is a place of refuge. I'm glad Fury isn't alive to see his niece drag our good reputation straight through the guano.
That's what we want. There was an option to extend your hand, meaning no harm, but you chose to attack. Rationale behind that choice. I assume you're talking about the owlbear. So, the owlbear... Okay, so it's honor mode, right? The biggest advantage you can get in honor mode is to be a higher level. So you need every drop of experience you can get. So the owlbear, you want to... just to level you up more, you want an ending where you fight it. That's it. That's it. It was purely to get XP to make other fights easier. You murdered both parents? The owlbears? I mean, I can't even argue that. I did fight them both. My only issue with gaming mice is they basically seal them, so you have to break them open to open them up in order to clean them. Yeah. And you want the baby to be alive. Yeah, it is normal in the Baldur's Gate 3 community to kidnap the owlbear baby. They are some kind of messed up. Hey, I have a question. Is it possible to skip the Skyscale collection with only gold? There are 2 ways to get the Skyscale, and neither of them can you just skip it with gold. No. You have to do one of the 2 quest lines. The shortest quest line is the one in Secrets of the Obscure, which I have a video on, which I will put in the chat right now if you want it. You can kidnap the baby. I don't know how to do it. I was trying to do it so that because chat was trying to guide me through it, but there's a way to have the baby owlbear kind of follow you around and be like a pet for the whole game. Yeah, it's apparently a thing. Like anyone drawing like artwork of the BG3 team always includes like a baby owlbear over on the side. The team being the playable characters. It stays in camp, yeah, with the, was it Scratch? The dog. Okay. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, Wizard's Vault, almost forgot. What's the timer on the Wizard's Vault show? 14 days remaining, yeah, 2 weeks. I want to make sure I've got a lot of points in here in 2 weeks so that I can get the next legendary kit as soon as it comes up. Whoa! A donation for your streak giveaway. Hope you have a successful day and year to come. Signed, Jersey. Jersey! Oh my god. Is he here right now? 18 hours old. I don't know if he's here right now. Well, chat, the next giveaway just got bigger. Orion's Bite, Legendary Generation 3 Greatsword. Holy crap. Thank you. I'll add this to the pot for the big day. Oh, he is here. Thank you, Jersey. I wasn't sure if you were here right now. That is very generous of you. I know how much these cost. What? Is Snack Party Jersey? Thank you for the shiny. You're welcome. Oh my god. Thank you again. Gen 3 Hammer. Holy crap. Holy crap, chat. I already had some good stuff for the big day, but we got some better stuff now. Damn. Yeah, just to put that into perspective for the new bloods, each of those is like that. Yeah, what the big day? Yeah. So this coming Monday, is it Monday? Hold on, let me check. Next Monday, this coming Monday. I will have streamed every single day for 7 years without missing a day. And it's a Monday, so we're going to be celebrating it on Sunday. So Sunday, I'm going to be streaming all day, doing lots of Guild Wars 2, doing giveaways, and this stuff just got added to that pot. So we're going to put that into the vault right now before I accidentally bind it or something. Where are they? There they are. Sunday, rip me. Rip you! We still got this, too. We got 5... We got about 10,000 gold worth of stuff right there. Giveaway start now? That's not what I said. Can you say all that again? Yeah, this Sunday, we're celebrating having streamed every day for 7 years in a row. I'll be streaming all day and giving out Well, I've already got 10,000 gold worth of stuff right there to give out. I've also got some gem codes. I can scrape together a few dozen gem codes, probably. Let's see. Can you explain to me where is the greatness outside of wholesome Larian behavior, not trying to rage bait or anything? Wait, what? If only BG3 was a good game. It's not a good game. It's a great game. Can you explain to me where is the greatness outside of wholesome Larian behavior, not trying to rage bait or anything like that? Genuine conversation. So, original Slayer, you're saying what's great about Baldur's Gate 3? For me, like, one, it's a very fleshed out, solid RPG, right? You got party members. You can play with any 4 of them at a time. You can, you know, so just that is replayability. They've each got different stories. You've got the freedom to spec them however you wish. You can have, you know, any of them be a ranger, a warrior, a barbarian, whatever. They've each got their own stories. There's one, you know, there's a main overarching story. There's a lot of side stuff to do. Additionally, they keep coming up with new ways to handle situations, right? Like, you can, you know, you find someone who's dead, and if you're a druid, you can cast Speak with Animals and ask the nearby squirrels what happened. If you've got Speak with Dead spell, if you're like a darker class, you can just ask the corpse what happened. You could like go around and like look for evidence. Like there is so much options and branching paths of how to handle situations. It is like wild watching other people play it sometimes, because they'll handle a situation in ways that you didn't know possible. And they just keep adding in like more ways they think. Like it's a staggering amount of voice acting just from dead people in the game, because they never know what corpses you're going to question. And then just, you know, it's just so many options on how to handle stuff. It truly feels like a lot of freedom, and you're not like railroaded into doing stuff. It is an incredibly free, immersive RPG with lots of replayability and lots of options. And so a lot of people like that. I do have a, let me see, I have an Is It Worth It video for Baldur's Gate 3 if you're interested. Let's see. Search Baldur. There it is. Yeah, so I did a game review video on Baldur's Gate back when I finished it for the first time, and that's it right there if you're interested. But yeah, if you're considering it, I'm happy to answer questions on it. I've got a few hundred hours in it. It truly is a great game. I honestly, like, I played Divinity Original Sin, and I played Divinity Original Sin 2, which were both made by Larian. When they announced that they were making Baldur's Gate 3, and I was like, oh, that's like a D&D game, but it's made by the guys that made DOS. I'm gonna love this. And like, I knew that before it even came out. So I was looking for, like, I never played the old Baldur's Gate games, but I played Neverwinter and Neverwinter Nights and Pathfinder. So I knew the type of game it was. And I also knew that the company made Divinity Original Sin. So I was like, this is gonna be good. So I went into it expecting to like it, but it was even better than I thought it was going to be. The game, yeah, if the game's not for you, that's totally fair. Dude, I hate racing games. Oh, he's making a left turn, my favorite part. Like, it's fine. You know, you don't have to like it just because everybody else likes it. But yeah, I mean, you asked for an honest, like, what's so great about it? That's my answer. Is it worth it, Expedition 33 win? Soon TM. Soon TM. I hate racing games. You probably never played F-Zero. I haven't. The only racing games I typically enjoyed in the past were the ones like Road Rash or Twisted Metal, where you were fighting the other cars. But the ones where you're just driving, bleh. Bored. Bored. Let's see. We need to go up here. Game not being for you is perfectly fine. We'll hate you if you just say don't like it, but it's objectively an ultimate game. Yeah. Like, within the genre that Baldur's Gate 3 falls into, it's probably the best in the genre, right? But if you're not a fan of that genre, then, you know, that's it. What are you gonna do? Think you like F-Zero. That being said, it's probably about 20 years too late. Oh, okay. I haven't played Guild Wars 2 in so long, I'm surprised more of that overland is not filled. More? Dude, they've already done so much. What are you talking about? There's more down here. There's Cantha down here. There's lots of stuff. Did you enjoy Burnout Paradise? Eh? I don't know what that is. Burnout Paradise.
Let's bring back any relics we can find.
Only racing game I really enjoyed was Burnout 3 with the game mode where you just tried to cause the biggest, most expensive crash you could. Morning, morning chat, morning things I haven't bothered doing yours too. Morning, New Gammy. Did you play Arcade? No, I don't think I've ever tried Arcade. I think Solasta was a better D&D game. BG3 is a way better video game, and all the tweaks they made to the rules made a lot more sense. So Solasta, I played the Solasta like I think I did a sponsored stream for them. I enjoyed it, so I finished playing the entire game on stream like later on. It was a very fun game, and I enjoyed it. I think though at the same time I can also say, among the D&D type games I have played, it felt the roughest around the edges. Like, it felt like it needed more polish. It was also the very first time I had played, I believe it's called 5th edition rule set, and I gotta say, that's my least favorite one. That is my least favorite one. Like, there was a lot of little changes that they did with it, and I couldn't even tell you all of them right now, but I remember I played, like, games that were based on like D&D 3.5, and then I played Pathfinder, Kingmaker, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and then I played Solasta, and I was like, ugh. Like, just, again, I liked the game, I finished it, but just, ugh, a lot of the rule changes they did, I did not like. Isn't Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition? Yes, but they made a lot of changes to it. So, yeah, just, you know, my own experience dating back to like 3.5, the rule set that Solasta is based on is my least favorite one. And I say least favorite because there's a big difference between, you know, hating something and then just, you know, not caring for, you know, the thing. But, yeah, Solasta was fun, but I've, like, here's an example. You know, Moonbeam? The Druid spell that I was using in Baldur's Gate 3 that I mentioned earlier? In Solasta, it does damage if the target is standing in it at the end of their turn. So every turn, if they walk out of it, it never hits them. It's so stupid. Like, there's so many little things like that are just like, why? Why did they change this? That's supposed to do damage at the start of their turn because they're standing in a laser. But no, it's at the end of their turn. So they start, you know, their turn in the beam, then they just walk out of it. They just do that every time. There's a lot of weird stuff like that. Will Sunday's giveaway be one big giveaway or many smaller giveaways every hour or two? Caldeath, typically, and the honest answer is because it's better for business, like stream-wise, is like every few hours. Because there will be a lot of folks that'll show up because of a chance to win a legendary, and if I just give all the legendaries away at one time, they'll just all show up at that time, and then they leave. So if I am doing a big giveaway, typically we try to break it up a little bit. And also there will be some people that can't make a certain time, right? Like, because of time change or they're busy, they're like, oh, I can only show up for the first half or the second half or in the middle. So if we do, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, then they have a shot at it, some of it.
Enough for them, seems like. Well,
Alice Madness returns for morning stream win. That's such a great morning game. Haven't gotten to it yet. But I do know that is on the recommended list. Or can't show up at all? Yeah. We still do giveaways outside of stream time for people that can't make it. For example, we recently gave away 2 plushies. Counting shipping costs, that was like $80 worth of Asuras that we mailed out to other people. That was a giveaway that we did with Twitter. With Makeship. So yeah, we try to do the giveaways on various different platforms. But yeah, Sunday will be on live stream. So Twitch or YouTube, whatever you're watching on. Both are fun, both work. What are you planning for the new patch in 2 weeks? 12-hour stream again? Probably. Probably. That reminds me, I need to... One sec. Someone DM me a question. I'm gonna double check something here. May 28th. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, yeah. Alright. Someone asked me yesterday if I would be open to doing a possible sponsored thing on May 28th. And yesterday I couldn't remember if that was the day after the Janthir final patch or the final Janthir patch. And I was like, let me get back to you in a day. And I now see that it looks like the Janthir patch is 1 week after that. So I should be able to take that job. That is a lot of circles. Genre? It's related to an early look at the Dune Awakening game. Which, I've never played any Dune games, or, I should say, I don't know much about the Dune franchise, other than giant worms, sand planet, and, like, dust or something. However, I have, looked at the trailers for the game on Steam, and I see it's a open-world survival crafting thing, like Valheim or V Rising, and I very much enjoyed those games. So, it's definitely a game that I would give a shot, just because it's within a genre I enjoy. Like, even if I don't end up getting the sponsored window, I would still try it out. Boop. Let's see. Do I need to have a bottle or something to capture the lightning in this one? I think I do. Yeah, you need a jar filled with lightning. Alright, where do I get the jar? Where do I get the jar? There it is. I see you. There we go. There has to be a safer way to do this. This is prime Asuran engineering. Hold bottle, get hit by lightning bolt. There's so many people here. I think I'm the only one doing the mechanic. Ow. Hang on. Hold on, I gotta I gotta focus on this and then I'll catch up on chat in a minute. I'm afraid if I don't do this, then the event's gonna fail, because I don't think there's enough people participating in it.
Good work, Wayfinder. I think it's working based on how excited our friend here is getting.
Okay, I definitely see some other people doing some now. Alright. I've turned in 14. Feel like they can handle the rest. Okay. Let me hide over here for a second. Let's see. Scrolling up. Understandable. I work nights, so trying to decide if I sleep after work or just stay up to watch. Sounds like I can get a nap in before stream starts. Gotcha. Conan Exiles, but less nudity. What the Dune game? Let's see. About mouse for anyone else. Thoughts on a mouse that comes with 6 to 8 little weights that you can use any number of them or none at all. I've had a couple of gaming mice that have those little weights. Yeah, the last few mice I've gotten have had those, and I've, like, you know, tried them out briefly, and then usually they just end up in a drawer and never used. Muk, we be playing Stellar Blade on release. Isn't that, like, Anime Girl Dark Souls? Actually, I don't even know if that's a Souls-like, honestly. I don't know much about it, other than, like, having seen it in passing.
Advanced outside the Delta. Make quick work of Titans, those weapons sure do.
Would you be interested in Chrono Odyssey? I saw the trailer, and on the YouTube account, they search content creators for promotion.
True.
Chrono... Oh, let me see. Hang on. One sec. Chrono Odyssey. Okay, hold on. What is this?
The void has consumed us all. Is this what calamity bears not name?
This is the weirdest sequel to Chrono Trigger I could possibly imagine. Let's see. None of that was actual gameplay. What does the gameplay look like? None of that is gameplay. Guy on horse. Zero gameplay. I don't know. I need to see a trailer. Like, those are some cool cinematics. None of that was gameplay. So, current answer, I don't know. Not sure if it comes under PG-13 or not. Let's see. Original Slayer. I get why people like BG3, but I can't ignore its downsides. For example, the game forces the PCs to travel a lot and waste a lot of hours on traveling. I understand it's important for Act 1, but Act 2 and 3 are way more linear in terms of level design. I spent 500 hours on BG3, by the way. You can argue that you have TP points, but their positioning in Act 2 and 3 is atrocious. I mean, if you feel like you're wasting too much time walking, that's totally fair that you think that, right? I'm not dismissing that. I will say that seems like an odd complaint to me, because in so many RPGs, there's not even a fast travel system. There are like, I've played so many RPGs that don't even have waypoints. Like, if you want to go back to the early zone, you got to walk for 40 minutes through all the zones in between to get back there, you know? So BG3, the fact that it has a waypoint system, even if a couple of them are 60 seconds away from where you want to get to, I don't find that to be a downside. Because the fact that there's a waypoint system at all is a big, like, it's a quality of life thing that many other similar games don't have. So I don't really mind it. Let's see. Primacer Engineering is making some lackey do all the grunt work like grabbing lightning in a bottle for you. Yes. The game is also slow to the point that I cheat engine my second playthrough and 3x the speed out of it. I can understand that. Like, whenever I watch stuff on YouTube, I almost always watch it on 2x speed. When we were playing Age of Wonders 4 the other day, we put it on 4x speed because that was an option. Like, I understand, like, when you see combat animations, they're really cool the first 20 times, and after that, you kind of just wish that you could put it on fast forward. So I can agree with you there. Like, but I feel that way for any game. Because that's how my brain works. I met some pretty toxic BG3 fans for whom latest Larian products is the resurrection of Jesus. No, I will say they seem to be a fantastic company, but I don't think of them as Jesus. They seem like good people. Like, the fact that they, you know, hire people and, you know, don't fire them after a project and get more people and they let them stay on board. So, like, I thought it was great when they won their awards and they basically ridiculed the entire gaming space, stuff like that. With like microtransactions and things. I freaking ate that up. Like, when I was a kid, Blizzard could do no wrong. You know? Companies like them, like, there was no social media. You didn't see them, like, being stupid on Twitter. It was just like, they released a game when it was ready and it was a banger, you know? And you had to get the game on, like, CD-ROMs, so it had to work on day one. There were no day one patches. You know, they could do no wrong. now it's kind of like Larian is in that spot, because by God, Blizzard has done wrongs now, you know? Stuff like that. Yeah. Muck, it's your fault. I've had the Ranger bug the past few weeks. It's my fault. It's always my fault. Let's see. I'm in the middle of my Japanese ear and can't hear you. Can you please show me your leggy weapons? Can I show you my leggy weapons? Hold on. One sec. Hi, Clareris in Japanese class. I have too many. Can't show all. Why can't I hold all these legendaries? Hodl, 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 hodl. There we go. All right, that's for the guy in Japanese class. All right. I don't blame Larian for having 5th edition combat, but it becomes so easy on highest difficulty after you reach level 7. Good morning, Mug Chat. Hello, Tiny Purple Bear. I mean, to be fair, original, I think it's completely okay to have feedback on a game after you play it, right? Like, okay, I've played 9,000 hours of Guild Wars 2. There's a lot of things that they could improve upon that I could, like, sit down and talk about for hours, right? It is not a perfect game, but it is a game I love. You're telling me you played 500 hours of Baldur's Gate 3, but you think it's not that good? Like, it seems like you liked it. Right? This kind of reminds me of those Steam reviews where it says, like, user played 1,000 hours, and then they voted, they review the game, they're like, it's terrible, and then it said user plays another 1,000 hours after this review. It kind of reminds me of that. I beat BG3 Honor Mode, got the Golden Die. I can say the BG3 was the most fun when played as a story, and trying to min-max is not necessary at all times unless Honor Mode, like just cruise it. Yeah. Like, playing it on Honor Mode, you have to kind of do stuff just because you need experience, not because of, it's like within character. Like, I killed the owlbears last night, which was not a good decision, and I'm playing a good character, but I did it because I need more XP to level up for Honor Mode.
I don't know. This has never happened to one of us before, but we've never been able to cure it in the wildlife.
And we'll do what we have to.
Should have translated it to Japanese. No, he's in class because he needs the class. He wouldn't have been able to read it. Let's see, I'm 5th edition Dungeon Master, so very good understanding of the foundation of the system. My 5th edition experience is basically BG3 and Solasta. Solasta was my first experience with it. Divinity OS 3 would have gone so hard. My favorite negative review, Steam review, the one with 2K hours played, yeah. The owlbears are part of us now. Yes, we have absorbed the owlbear. Muck, are you gonna make another IKEA spear for your anniversary? I actually made one last Tuesday. It's in my bank. Haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it yet. But even without that, we've got like 10,000 gold of stuff already prepared for the big giveaway. And I've got a handful of gem codes from ArenaNet I could give out on that day too. This violin, or whatever I'm hearing, is my favorite bit of Janthir Wild's music. This bit right here.
Here they come. Keep them away from the golems. Understood?
What sort of things are you prepping for the next 2 weeks? Oh, what's that? Finish games more than one. Oh, cool. Right now, the main thing is the legendary backpack is coming out, and I've already got the precursor for it, which is from the mastery here. Now I think the next thing I'm going to need, if I can find it, these things. I think I'm going to need a full stack of these things. Curious Mursat Ruined Shard. So right now, while I'm talking to you, I am doing various meta events in the Mistburned Barrens. Because I think I'm going to need a stack of all of that stuff for the new backpack. Like 250? That's my guess, yes. Maybe Mersod Obsidian Chunks, too? Not sure. What's the backpack called? Not sure. It's not out yet. There's a precursor to it, though, you can get from doing the Mistburned Barrens Mastery. But we don't know the name of the backpack yet. Thanks, Mug, for keep up the good job. Let's see. I get it. I should say that for me, BG3 is incredible Act 1, like 12 out of 10. Waste of time Act 2, which is 4 out of 10. And completely mid Act 3, which is 6 out of 10. I spent 200 hours on Act 1 alone in EA, and then 100 hours on my first playthrough, 30 hours on my second, with times 3 speed, and 170 with my friends. I don't hate BG3. I think it's a fine 7 out of 10 experience. I enjoy Alcat products more. That's fine. So Alcat. Let's see. What have I played from Alcat? I played Pathfinder Kingmaker. I would say Pathfinder Kingmaker, the first 2/3, amazing. The last chunk of the game, I've played through Kingmaker twice. The last chunk of the game, with like the Fey area, with all the teleport, it's terrible. Like, I would say the game is like 8 out of 10 up until that last part, and then that last part is just god-awful. It's so bad. But the game as a whole, wonderful game. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, fantastic. They clearly learned a lot from their time with Kingmaker. And then Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, they clearly learned a lot with the first 2 games, and it's wonderful as well. Unfortunately, they, hardly anything in Rogue Trader is voice acted. I really missed that. If I think the game would have gone up to, like, the first, like, tutorial is voice acted, and they did a great job with it, and then it's like they didn't voice act hardly anything else the rest of the game. So I wish that they had the budget to have been able to do that. Also, when 2 people are talking, it's just the 2 of them in the middle of the screen, and then, text at the bottom. Totally fine with that. Again, I played through all 3 of their games. I don't mind that. But I think the game would have been much more successful if they could have afforded conversations the likes that, Baldur's Gate 3 had. So I cannot say that I enjoy Alcat stuff more than Larian stuff, but I can say I enjoy Alcat stuff also. If I had to pick one, I'd probably lean toward Larian stuff, but I have enjoyed, between Pathfinder, Kingmaker, Wrath of the Righteous, and Rogue Trader, I've probably enjoyed 500 hours of Alcat products and been quite happy with it. Let's see. I know PvP, Rush, anything besides that. The main thing today is the Rush event. And then in 2 weeks, I believe, is the big Janthir patch, the big one. That's got the let's see, new fractal challenge mode, convergence challenge mode, legendary backpack. I have it written down. Hang on. 6 Janthir Wilds exclusive relics. Map 4. The story concludes. New masteries, seasonal refresh, and a new weapon set. All of that comes out in 2 weeks. Do you eat Oreos? Yes. What's your favorite flavor? Oreo. Like, I don't... What do you mean? Like, I don't get the crazy ones that have, like, Mountain Dew in it or something.
Can you hear the wayfinder?
Like, maybe like the double stuffed or the triple stuffed Oreos, where it's, like, an unhealthy amount of filling. Maybe that.
Lost in a flood of agony. Their screams reverberating off of the walls in an endless chorus. This place is an abomination.
Oreo Baja Blast. Pass. Like, what's your theory of what's happening in the Foundry of Failed Creations? I've never met her. Java chip Oreos or nothing. What's your theory? Hold on. Wait, what? You've played BG3 and Pillars of Eternity along with many other CRPGs. Will I enjoy Pillars if I liked BG3? That is a great question, Windshark. So there's a lot of people after BG3 came out that have asked me similar stuff. BG3 was the first time that many people got into turn-based CRPGs or classical RPGs. And it opened a door for them. Because like, wait, I thought I hated turn-based games, but this is kind of fun. So would those people enjoy Pillars of Eternity or Pathfinder Kingmaker or Divinity Original Sin? And the answer is they also, like Baldur's Gate 3, have amazing stories. However, they did not have the same team of people that made it, or the same budget. So, for example, like the conversations between characters, you read it. It's a block of text, you know? If you're okay with that, it will give you a good story and a fun experience and similar combat. But if you were there for the voice interactions or, you know, getting laid with the bear, it doesn't have that. it doesn't have that. So that is my honest answer. If you don't mind reading the conversations instead of them being fully voice acted, yeah, there will be some voice acting, but there will be many of it you're just, you know, reading it. Which in Baldur's Gate 3, that's true in a small amount. Like, whenever your character talks, you usually just read it. Your character doesn't say it, like whichever one you're playing. But yes, like, I can tell you that, you know, Pillars of Eternity and Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, like Baldur's Gate 3, have great stories. But they're not fully voice acted. You know? So, if you're cool with that.
Perhaps the atrocities committed in this valley were what molded.
You can get laid with a shark in Pillars too. I mean, it's not. It's like a shark person. It's just kind of just like how a centaur is a horse person. It's a shark person. It's not quite as simple as just saying like, oh, it's a shark. If any of you saw Avowed, there was a guy that was like in a lot of the trailers with like blue scaly skin and sharp teeth. Like that, it's that guy, that race.
That may be where the source of this concentrated agony.
How did we get into this? You did this, Smashy.
Wait.
Does he read YouTube or only Twitch? I read both. I go back and forth between them. What's up, Nano? Pathfinder games are a lot harder as Pathfinder is a much more complex game system. In some ways? I mean, I don't know. I would say in some ways. Like, when I first went from D&D to Pathfinder, it was more simplified. For example, Dungeons & Dragons has search and spot and listen. Pathfinder just has perception. That's all three just stuck together. They just rolled it into one thing. You know, do you perceive that? So, like, there's many things that Pathfinder did to simplify D&D to make it easier for people to get into it.
Made it. I sense an object of massive power.
Muck, have you seen this before? I'm not clicking that link, Ned. I'm scared. I'm too scared.
Mighty as the construct may be.
I played BG3 since early access first drop. Larian changed so much that made the game great. Reactions, multiple enemy AI using the same turn, monk improvements. Cool.
I have an idea. Hopefully,
I just figured the actress that plays Countess Anise wasn't available. She'd record her work later. Yeah, so the lady that was it Countess Anise and female Servari, female Char, Queen Jenna, all of them, and some of those are the same character, but I don't think they're all the same character. They're involved in the voice actors strike, I believe. And when their lines get recorded, they're supposed to get added to the game.
It requires my full concentration, though. You must keep the enemy off me. If the magic were to falter while you're let's just sure that doesn't.
What prep is happening for the Janthir Wilds updates? Right now, I'm gathering materials to make the legendary backpack. We don't know for sure what's involved in it, but based on the previous legendaries, like Call of Jarni, we can make a really good guess. And right now, I am trying to get a stack of Curious Mursat Ruin Shards, because I am almost certain we're going to need 250 of those.
Thank you, Wayfinder. I will restore my platforms.
Can you join me in-game? I want to show you something that'll take 2 minutes only. No, you're creeping me out. You just pop into my chat, And you're like, click this fishy link. And I'm like, no. And you're like, come to me privately right now, real fast. I'm like, also no, serial killer Bob. Thank you.
The construct has prevailed.
GG. The spectral agony has dissipated. Has it really? Last time I jumped in there, it hadn't dissipated yet. It killed me. He wants to talk to you about your car's extended warranty? Okay. In his offense, I would get lost trying to read everything. Right now, everything's going at the perfect speed. When it gets going faster than this, then I can only read just like one occasional message, and I just assume that represents all of you, like a hive mind. Like, 9 people are like, we love you, Muck, and then one guy's like, I hate you. And I'm like, why do you all hate me? Can I have your opinion on Willbender and PvE content? More preferably power. It seems to have a very strict rotation and can't really hit the Snowcrow's benchmarks. Okay, first off, I will say that almost no one can hit the Snowcrow's benchmarks. I have 9,000 hours in this game. I can't hit the Snowcrow's benchmarks. Usually, if you can hit like 75% of the Snowcrow's benchmarks, you're doing stellar. Okay, so first off, that. Second thing, I've never played Power Willbender, but I've grouped with them. My opinion on them is very high mobility. They're fine in parties. They can either be just pure damage, or they can be damage while providing alacrity. And there's also the Healbender build, which is the simplest but easiest healer to play. It has a pretty low skill ceiling, but it is an option for people that wish to do that. Do I have that master? Oh, yeah, I do have that. Okay. Monkey Chat, what do you think will happen to the final chapter of Janthir Wilds? Will set up a future X hack or something? I blew up reading your message. Why did you kill me? Lol. Anyway, Janthir Wilds. I could tell you what I'm hoping for. So, let's go back to Secrets of the Obscure for a second. They're like, do you see this? This is Ceres. And we're like, wow, Ceres is really cool. And they're like, you got him. Who's the big commander? You are? Yes, you are. And we're like, okay. And they're like, this is King Eparch. And you're like, what's his name? And they're like, you got him. Nice job. You're like, okay. It is like whiplash, you know? Like, I hope that the final Titan is not defeated, like introduced and defeated in one patch. Like, whatever we're gonna fight, drag it out. Joko was a villain through all of Guild Wars 1 and many content patches of Guild Wars 2 before we took him down. And by God, people remember that as one of the cooler villains, right? Don't have whatever it is just be a pushover. Drag it out a bit. It doesn't have to die in the same patch it comes out. That's my hope. My hope is simply that whatever villain, whatever new Titan shows up, if that's what it is, doesn't die immediately. That's my hope. What is your favorite heal class? Okay, hold on. There is a video I did, 1 second, called I Tried Every Healer in Guild Wars 2. And I will say the one I've got the most hours in is Druid. After that is probably Mechanist, Scrapper, and or Scourge. Those are my top picks. That if you want to see the video though, I'm linking it in the chat right now. It has got my thoughts on every healer in the game from last year. A few minor things have changed, but not a lot. Let's see. Eparch, the demon who skipped leg day training. Yes, the chicken legs. Any good updates? No update yet. The patch time is in like an hour. Hope it doesn't do that again. That was kind of funny, but disappointed personally. I hope for a major cliffhanger on the next X-Pack. Well, I was in the same boat. Every X-Pack introduces a new villain, then kills them off. Doesn't get you invested. Yeah, with WoW, it's like, oh, the villain is the Horde. Oh, okay. Oh, the Horde were actually controlled by the Burning Legion. Oh, here's the Lich King. Oh, the Lich King was Ner'zhul. He's controlled by the Burning Legion. Whoa, oh, the Burning Legion is actually being controlled by this big guy with face tentacles named Kil'jaeden. Whoa, oh, Kil'jaeden's actually being controlled by this big guy that can stick a sword through the planet named Sargeras. Oh, Sargeras is actually being controlled. And it just keeps going. It's just like every single patch is just like level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. And now they're just like fighting God. And it just like keeps going. And that's where I lost track. I lost track after freaking Sargeras. I don't know what's going on after that. So yeah, WoW just constantly just is like, oh, the last thing you fought? No, that was just the prequel. Sargeras was controlled by Plunderstorm. Yes. Yes, exactly. What sword? Yeah, the giant sword that's sticking through Azeroth like a toothpick in an olive.
One of the wolves just hissed at me.
In BG3, I found out you could split the party and have characters outside of a conversation still interact with the world. I pushed Ball into a pit while he was monologuing and skipped his entire fight. Yeah, one of the earliest times... Okay, so one, you could do that in DOS2, so I was used to that. But one of the earliest times I ever did that in Baldur's Gate 3 was, you know, like when you meet Karlach, she wants you to fight some paladins? The fight with the paladins. Like, I'd have one person talking to the paladin, and then the others were, like, moving around the room and getting into position. And I'm really glad I did, because on Tactician, the paladin was like, smite, you're dead! And I was like, oh my god. But the other people at that point were, like, up on a balcony shooting down at him, so it worked out. Haven't yet tried the paladins on honor mode. That's on the to-do list.
There we go.
When do the paladins have legendary actions? I don't know. I have not been shy. Like, I feel like honor mode is not where you worry about spoilers. I've not been shy about looking that up to see what legendary actions things have. Because they'll just freaking, you know, kill you if you don't know it. And then it's game over.
Someday we will be able to prevent this from happening again.
But when I get there, I'll take a look. Like, the remaining bosses I've got the Shadow Druids in Act 1, the Paladins, the Hag, the Gith Patrol. My neighbor's mowing their lawn, if you guys hear that. I'm sure some of those have legendary actions in honor mode. I don't know what yet. The giant golem. Is that in Act 1? Gith Patrol will probably hurt. Yeah, I do have the horn where I can summon those ogres to fight for me. I'm thinking of using that on the Gith Patrol. Underdark is Act 1. Oh, I guess I still need to do Underdark. Underdark and Crash are Act 1 still. Gith Patrol should probably be skipped in honor. The whole Crash is a safer idea.
Worry not, Gatla.
I'm a main power berserker. I heard about condition is good. Always worried about some nerfs in the long run. What's up, Leggy? Basically every build in the game, you can play as a Condi build, which is dots, or a power build, which is just power. And you just, you know, hit hard. So it's, it really just depends on how you like to play. It is true that some fights in the game, Condi, like, okay, a lot of people don't know this, but bosses have different amounts of armor. And armor only affects power, it doesn't affect Condi. So if a boss has higher armor, condition damage, like bleeding and burning, will do more than power. But if a boss has less armor, then power will do more than Condi. But the short answer is, you can play either of that and kill every boss in the game. So if you just like playing Power Berserker, you can play that for every boss. It's fine. But, you know, some bosses you'll do a little less damage, and some bosses you'll do a little bit more damage. Having your favorite class nerfed in the ground is part of the Guild Wars 2 experience, unless you're Guardian. Yes. Anet's favorite child. How do I like to play Owlbear from the top rope? We have a shapeshifter in our party. She's a giant spider right now. Makes me, reminds me of Morgan from Dragon Age Origins. That's another great series. We were talking about, well, I mean, yeah, I think it's this here. Dragon Age Origins is certainly plays differently, because it's like real time with pausing. But Dragon Age Origins is also a fantastic CRPG for people that played Baldur's Gate 3 and they want to play more. Favorite thing about Condi is the spewing out of numbers. The thing with power is, like, for example, when you break the enemy's break bar, you want to be able, you want to pop all your cooldowns and do big damage at that moment. However, if your cooldowns aren't available when the break bar breaks, that can set you back dramatically on your damage output. Condi never has to worry about that. Condi is just like, I have a bunch of dots on the target. Oh, their break bar broke? Oh, my dots just suddenly started ticking really hard. You know, Condi doesn't have to worry about maximizing those windows. On the other hand, though, they don't have burst usually. So if you're in a fight that, you know, just lasts like 5 seconds, power will always be better. But I prefer Condi myself because I don't have to stress about, like, saving cooldowns for the perfect moment, things like that. In playing Mesmer, like the flexibility in builds looking for a change, is there anything that's just as flexible, like Ranger Rev wasn't sure? So, Chrono specifically is the most flexible build in the game. Because it can be heal alack, heal quick, DPS alack, DPS quick, or DPS. All 5. No other class can do that. However, if you expand that a little bit, such as Engineer. An Engineer can be all of those things. Like a Mechanist would be heal alack or DPS alack. A Scrapper would be heal quick or DPS quick. And then any of its elite specs can be DPS. So if we open up the broader interpretation of that, then any class in the game, except Ranger, can be literally anything. And that's just that Ranger's not good at DPS alack, that one build. I usually play Condi Rev, but right now I'm liking the casualness of Pistol Thief. That's fine. That's the whole point of the low intensity builds, is folks that just want to chill. Like right now, I'm kind of half paying attention to this event. I'm just bonking things with a hammer while I talk to you guys. Strength of dots are not determined by when they're applied. That is correct. That is correct. So, like, when you... Well, hold on. Let me fine-tune my statement here. If you've got 25 stacks of might and you apply a dot, then your might wears off, it will still keep hitting hard because you applied it when you had 25 stacks. That is true. However, if you apply a dot and it's ticking for, like, you know, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, and then the break bar of the enemy breaks and his incoming damage skyrockets, that same dot might start going 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, right? And you didn't apply a new dot, it's just that the enemy's defenses dropped, and so it started ticking really hard. Whereas, if you're a power user, the moment those defenses drop, you need to press your cooldowns and like, do big things. Like, as a ranger, I'd often have to do Axe 5, which was a channel, and if anything interrupted the channel, my damage would look terrible on the fight for the next minute, and I hated that. But like I said, the short answer is you could get away with anything on any fight in the game. The long answer is some fights do have more armor, and some have less armor. So some bosses will feel like they take more damage from power, and others will feel like they take more damage from Condi. But you do not have to stack one or the other to kill any boss in the game. One rare exception is the Veil Guardian fight has one mob, the red guy, that is immune to power damage, so you need at least one condition damage dealer in the raid to kill that guy. But that's it. That's one dude on that fight. I like the idea of Engie, but the only elite spec I like is Scrapper. That's fine. I'm not a fan of Hollow, but I like Scrapper and Mech. I think the issue with Mesmer is the Condi versions because it uses staff. I think Guild Wars 2 would be awesome if they had open world PvP, like race versus race instead of world thing. I agree that it would be cool if they had like a server for that, because there is people that enjoy that. Just make it an optional thing. Not like, you know, Black Desert that, you know, everything's PvP after 50 level, what is that, 55, I think? I'm doing dual staff Connie Mesmer now. It's easy, but I don't know, a bit boring to me. I mean, there's always other builds. Like, if you want to do way more work for not more pay, Weaver.
Wayfinder, the heart of the obscure. Can you neutralize it?
Will that destabilize the magic?
Throw up a shield.
Won't that destabilize the magic?
Looks thrilled to see us.
Wow.
Not all ghosts.
Not everyone got in the shield, chat.
These are. They've been provoked somehow.
There's open world PvP, you just have to fail Drakkar.
Get out of this?
Yeah, that's kind of funny. For those who don't know, the Drakkar world boss, if you fail it, which no one really does these days, everyone gets mind controlled in a free-for-all. And I saw Mighty Teapot arrange a community to try to make it happen because they wanted to see it. And the microsecond that everyone went free-for-all, 30 people immediately died because there was like 5 dragon hunters in the group. And they had already put their traps down. So the microsecond that it became like free-for-all PvP, the traps went off and blendered and instantly killed like 30 people. it was over really fast.
What do you suppose that is?
Beats me. Won't let it go, will you?
I don't know, doing fractals with my guildies feels like PvP at times. Doing fractals with my guildies feels like PvP. Lol.
Before.
I want to play a different class than Mesmer, but I only have light ascended armor, and I don't want to start all over again if I play a different class with a different armor weight. You could use your current main character and use it to get the armor for other characters, you know. Keep in mind all the ways you can get ascended armor from the Wizard's Vaults if you want. I got a piece of ascended armor from a treasure chest earlier, although that was lucky. Kind of newbie, I got all my ascended gear from the Wizard Vault. Gotcha. There's nothing wrong with that. Wizard Vault's a great resource. But there's other ways too. You can craft it. You can do fractals, raids, strikes, PvP, World v World. Like, almost any activity in the game, there's an end game where you can get like ascended armor from it. Or you could just use those to try Elementalists or Necro, which are also light armor weight. I liked Hollow before they messed with the traits a while back, and now how I played it isn't as fun. Yeah, Druid was my favorite for years, and they tinkered with it, and I'm not fond of their new version of Druid. I still like it, but I don't love it as passionately as I did in the past with the changes they made. Which is why you see me playing like a lot of Untamed lately, stuff like that.
Heavy with magic.
Who dat? Disco Dancing. Thank you for the Prime. The Primes are a huge help. Thank you very much, Disco.
There's no doubt. This is the source of the disturbances.
Quiet.
I like to try Ellie, but my issue is the leveling and map discovering. I mean, do you have any of those scrolls that level a character up? You could just like have the character... Now, one, you're gonna have to do map comp at some point, right? But you can break it up into pieces. Like, the way I did it is each day I'd be like, okay, point of interest, point of interest, point of interest, mastery point of interest, waypoint. Okay, I'm bored. And that's it. I would basically spend 5 to 10 minutes per play session on map comp. And then eventually I had it all done. Yeah, I couldn't make myself grind it out either.
Fascinating. The source of our ghost problem is another ghost.
Not just any ghost, Klaus. I am Manitas, the blood phenom, prodigal son of... Oh, a familiar face.
You know this guy, Wayfinder?
Unfortunately.
Don't care who you are. Step away from the Bloodstone. This is your only warning.
Before we had to have 3 spirits, I'd keep it locked. Now we can use the slots for utilities. That is true. However, I feel that having, and again, this is my personal preference on it, I feel that having to use astral form to provide alacrity means that you often have to go into astral form when no one needed healing, and then you don't have access to astral form when people needed it. So, like, the mode for Druid that has your strongest healing and strongest CC is now, you're now required to occasionally just burn it and put it on cooldown, simply so that you upkeep a lack. And I think that's bad design. Now, I do not think that spamming 3 spirits was a great solution. But there was a time period where they said, yeah, we think that you having to hit this button every time it comes off cooldown is bad. And I cheered because I was like, yes, they're going to change it. And then they made it worse. And I was like, wait, hold on, go back. Because now, instead of spamming spirits, we're spamming astral buttons and wasting those. They just changed the button we're spamming. Strongest CC is Mace 3 double cast. On the same note, I could say strongest CC is Astral 3 double cast. It also hits an extremely large area.
Spilling over! Wayfinder, collect it and shield yourself against his attacks.
Like rats, scouring for crumbs.
I will say, though, back when the 3 spirit version of Druid existed, there was no mace. That was before Weapon Master training.
Spectral closed. Watch where you step.
Ow. But yeah, anyway, so, and again, it's personal preference. I get that we've got less buttons in this game, so there's more stuff packed into each button. But having our astral form be relegated to go into it just to give a boon, and then go out of it, made me lose interest in playing my Druid as much. Because it's like, now there's a heartbeat. I'm a good healer. I'm a bad healer. I'm a good healer. I'm a bad healer. Like, if you're going to have a problem, you better hope it's when I'm up here. Because if it's when I'm leaving that form you have a problem, good luck. I can throw a staff 3 and a healing spring on you, but my options are limited. It's like in Glyph of the Stars. Glyph of the Stars requires you to be an astral to res people. So it's like, oh, sorry, I can't res you. I gave you alacrity before you went down.
Spectral closed. Watch where you step.
I just think that's bad design. Like Heal Tempest? Yeah. Heal Tempest is very much the heartbeat thing also.
Your construct is
Like, if you're playing Heal Tempest and you are leaving water and someone has a problem, you've got Wash the Pain Away, and that's pretty much it. Maybe a staff skill or something.
Yeah? What about them?
What? Get your hands off me, you insects! You... This will not be my end!
I picked my Ranger back up, was my main forever, but wanted to try Scrapper. Gotcha.
I think I'm rather pleasant to work with.
I noticed that running my Druid, I have to admit I like Necro healing a little bit more than Druid right now due to a lack. Yeah. Necro Scourge support is a lot of fun.
Point thoroughly made.
And you never feel like you're locked out of your options because it doesn't really have
A
that.
place like this is ripe for documentation.
Hang on a second. This lady doesn't shut up. Like, if you're playing Scourge, you've always got access to all your tools. Because, you know, you don't have, like, a form you go into and out of. Like, everything's always available to you. It is quite nice, yes. I would say the biggest downside to Scourge is you might end up with Carpal Tunnel. Because you've got, there's one button you're pressing every 4 seconds, for example. One of the shade keys is like a 4.5 second cooldown, and you can just mash it. So you're doing a lot of button pressing, but you've got access to everything all the time. So it's quite good. I've seen Willbender's Condi use Scepter, Pistol, Pistol, Torch. Is that a new setup now? Sorry for the Willbender questions. No, Willbender questions is totally fine. I will tell you, I don't know the answer to that one. If I were going to try to find you the answer to that question, I would go look at, like, the Snow Crow's build guide for that, and see what they say, because I don't know. Any info on the mastery change? No, I have not seen any info on the mastery change. I'm not sure what they're going to do there. That's why I think Ellie needs an elite that doesn't require you to swap attunements all the time. Yeah, it's kind of like, if you're playing... Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you guys something here. Okay? Give me a sec. Okay. Alright, so, Ranger. Alright, I'm out of combat. Now, typically, if you are untamed, you can swap. You see the hammer? When you change on leash, your hammer skills change. Your 1 through 5. What if you're using hammer and you're not untamed? Alright? Now I'm a soul beast. Look. I can change these. I can run whatever I want on the bar. Glyphs need that. If the glyph only is good when I'm an astral, and you make me burn astral to give alacrity, so I don't have access to the other side of the glyph when I need it, then you need to let me pick which version of the glyph is on my bar. That's my opinion on that. I'm gonna fix my build now. Hey, Mugashot, I'll be lurking for a lot today. Hello, Feathered Dino. Thank you for the lurk. Appreciate you. You have the Warclaw skin that I've been wanting. Oh, the plush one? Yeah, he's cute. I used to play Ellie when the game came out until I realized I was literally tryharding like every single fight just to not die. Did you try not standing in red circles? Being able to change what the skill does mid-combat is so much more interesting, though. That's the thing, though. I agree with you if I could change it on the whim. But the same button that makes the glyphs flip over is also the button that makes my heals bigger, and it's also the button that makes the CC bigger, and it's also the button that makes me give alacrity to people. So if I use it for any of those things, all those things become unavailable to me. That's the issue, honestly. Carpal tunnel, don't play Berserker. Dude, yeah, I've tried Berserker. It's 1 F1, 2 F1, 3 F1, 4 F1, F1 F1, 5 F1, 1 F1. Every other skill is F1. It's yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. How am I supposed to try to not stay in a red circle in the middle of my 40+ rotation? I need 120% of my attention to not mess up. Have you tried Pistol Thief? Just put F1 on autocast. There you go. I doubt it'll let you do that, but that sounds like a solution. Let's see. Next event in a couple minutes here. Mug did do Berserker run before. I had to do a lot of dying and being angry with the spear. Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about first Berserker Kazan. That might be my new favorite Souls-like. That was a great game. What's after the last patch of Janthir Wilds? After that is the first patch of the next expansion. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna take a video. I got 90 seconds till the next event starts. I'm gonna grab a drink real fast. Y'all need anything while I'm up? Just let me know. Okay. I return. Do we have any news of after Janthir Wilds? No. I don't think we have yet gotten the teaser for the next expansion. Also Chip. Chip is currently in a sunbeam upstairs, Bluebell. He is very zen. He's like rising bread. It's funny, he knows, like, at this time of day, that room has the sun. At this time of day, that room has the sun. And, like, there's one room upstairs that we could probably... It used to be my son's playroom when he was little, and there's still a lot of his toys in there, and he doesn't go in there as much anymore. He's 13 now. But that room, like, every morning, he goes and paws at the door until someone opens it, and he goes in there because there's, like, a juicy sunbeam in there in the early morning. And, and that's it. And then he'll come out a few hours later, and then he's done with that room for the day. But he's like, hey, open up. It's in there right now. He knows. GameRec page says you still play Terraria and Factorio. Yeah, I never really... Like, Terraria Calamity, we got really, really far, and it was getting to the point where, you know... Like, the whole... Like, any boss fight, the whole screen was it was just covered in SFX, and I couldn't even see. But I technically didn't finish it, so I kept thinking I was going to go back to it. And then Factorio started being one of those things where it was taking... Like, we were at the... Like, approaching the last planet for the Space Age update. And it was taking a lot of work to get, you know, each jump in technology. And I think... I don't know if it was everyone or just a vocal minority, but it was like anytime I played Factorio, there was people like, are you almost done with this game yet? And it just, I don't know, it felt really bad. Like, I felt like I was failing as a creator, like just showing people something they didn't want to watch. So I stopped playing it, but we never actually finished it. But at this point, it's been so long, I should probably just check it off. Oh no! I almost went off the cliff. I was charging that mob and the mob died. Y'all ever just charge off a cliff? I know I haven't. What new feature do you expect for the next expansion? I don't know. I would say I expect something that will affect builds throughout the game. For example, weapon master training, expanded weapon proficiencies, spears, like all of those affected builds throughout the game. I'm expecting something like that. Aside from that, I'm expecting story. And then either, you know, there'll be some new 5-man content, some new 10-man content, maybe another convergence if they keep doing that. Skiff combat. Yes, Twisted Metal Skiff edition. That's exactly it. New Titan to kill. I don't know. Janthir Wild was Titans. I don't know if there's going to be more of that in the next update. Hi, Beyond. Legendary Rebreather. It's about time. Twisted Metal Skiff Edition sounds fun for an event. ArenaNet, pay me for my ideas. New ocean theme expansion, skiff combat, reworked underwater combat. Mike is really wanting the cat cafe to become permanent. That's one of the patron noises. There's a tier on my Patreon, people that support the stream, where they can pick a sound effect and play it one time in each stream and interrupt anything we're doing with the sound. And one person picked that screaming cat thing. There's one person right now that their sound is a smoke detector chirp. And, dude, that one fooled my wife. My wife was upstairs with the stream open one day, and she heard the chirp, and she went walking around. She thought it was actually one of our smoke detectors. I was like, God dang it. You're trolling my wife, man. Copper. That's not a patron. That's a dono thing. Thank you, Neoff. Hi. Mike, in many videos you say that you work on legendaries as a side project. I want to do the same, but I'm not sure how. Do you farm gold or specific mats, or do you do any metas daily for that? It helps I'm doing Gen 2 weapons, thanks. Hello, chat, I swear this is his name. Stupid goddamn idiot. How are you? In relation to your question about legendaries, it's his name, chat. In relation to your question about legendaries, I would get a checklist in front of me. So, for example, you don't have to use an add-on. If you want to use an add-on, you can. But if I want to make Klobjarni gear here, all right, here's a list of everything I need. Each day, I'll just be like, let's see, get to research. Okay, and I'll work on this. And that's it. I just find something on the list and start working on it. You know? Typically, it pays to do a little bit of research into the thing you're making to see if there's something that takes a lot of time. Because if there's one step that requires a massive amount of time, start on that one first. And then, you know, just do a little bit each day. So no, it's not me farming gold. It's me, like, actually working toward whatever it is that I need. So, right now, the stuff that I'm doing is actually earning me Ursus Obliges. Those are used for the legendary spear from Janthir. Technically, I could say I'm working on a legendary spear right now just because I'm earning these while I do events. Now, that's not why I'm doing the events. I'm doing the events because of these. But, yeah, I mean, I'm technically earning one of the many currencies for the Janthir legendary spear right now. What is that Blish plugin? Legendary crafting, Mystic crafting module. Yeah, here is a link to the guides I've made for Blish HUD, and that's Mystic crafting module. Thanks for the answer. Sure. It's probably safe to say the next expansion will have a new story, new movement, like a mount reworked mount, new combat options, like the new weapon, new instance mount to combat. Yeah. You know, let's say that they're not adding a new mount and they're just reworking an old one. Which one do you guys think they would rework? My bet is the Springer. Maybe the Jackal. I think those two I use the least. That guy tried to get away. They're adding a mount. No, we're just talking for fun. We're just talking for fun. Skimmer had a rework? Yeah. Skimmer was not always able to go underwater. Then they added the thingy to make it go underwater. Jackal could be great as it is if they added more sand portals. Yeah, that's the main thing with the Jackal is it's simply the only mount that uses sand portals, so it will always be needed just for that section of Path of Fire. But if they add more sand portals in new expansions, they have to add a way to get the Jackal in the new expansions. If they don't add another way to get the Jackal, then people that don't have Path of Fire won't be able to join us in the new content. Kind of like the Warclaw. They designed these maps to use the Warclaw, so they had to add the Warclaw into this X-Pack. New Springer can jump straight to orbit. Like a Vindicator. Wouldn't hate a completely new mount. I just don't know what movement it would have. Oh, I do. The one movement we don't currently have is walking sideways on walls. So the next mount should be a gigantic spider. Just really horrifying looking spider. Dripping mandibles. 8 big old hairy eyeballs. Or a gecko. Yeah, or a gecko, fine. That is half a joke. The most common phobia is arachnophobia, so I think a PC company like Guild Wars 2 would probably try to avoid that. I think if there was going to be a wall walking mount, it would be a lizard or something. Rather than a bug. Give me just a second. Okay. Doesn't seem like they like to avoid it, looking at how many spiders there are in the game, and I bleeping hate it. Well, this guy got censored, but I saw your message, Kitty. I mean, I think any fantasy game is gonna have spiders, but the thing is if there were spider mounts, the towns would be full of them. Then you got people like, ah. Amok, is Ranger bow good right now? I love playing archers, and I wonder if it's viable to use bows right now. Octane, the short answer is, yeah, you can use it in any game mode. How well it's going to work will depend on the game mode. Do you prefer Untamed over Soul Beast? In PvE, yes. Soul Beast in PvE is often merged with its pet, so it just kind of feels like I'm playing a green warrior at that point. I think I've heard someone with arachnophobia say they can't play Guild Wars 2 because of the spider enemies. Yeah, I've known one person that had severe arachnophobia, but he was a gamer, and he really struggled because he liked fantasy games with swords and magic, but freaking every one of them has a level with spiders. He had one friend that recommended him to try Dragon Age Inquisition, and forgot that in the opening cinematic of the game, you're running from what looks like a horde of spiders. The guy's like, ah! There's this, for anyone who hasn't played Inquisition, there's a scene where you're running from these little demonic entities, and the demonic entities take the shape of fears. And, like, whenever you see them, they look like spiders. And then you have a conversation, like, halfway through the game with other people, and someone's like, wait, they look like spiders to you? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, I wish mine looked like spiders. And so then you find out that other people see, like, far worse things. We joked about, like, what if someone is just, like, scared of commitment and they just see babies crawling toward them? Whoops. Wrong button. Mike, what are you farming here? This stuff. Curious Mursat Ruin Shards. So that I can, because I'm pretty sure the Legendary Backpack is going to require a full stack of them. Plus, I can just do this while I talk to you guys. My issue is a lot of fantasy have giant spiders. Find with small spiders, not giant spiders. There was a... Oh gosh, what was a... Hold on, I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Terrarachnia? Terrarantula. Okay. Alright, so this is a long time ago. EverQuest. Back when I played EverQuest, there was this one zone. They really liked having rare mobs. Like a mob that would spawn once a day in a zone. And if anyone killed it, it was gone for a day. In EverQuest, there was a zone called the Southern Desert of Row. And South Row had a rare spawn. It was called Terrarantula. Or it was called Terrarantula. And it was a giant spider. And it just like, you'd be walking along and then like a tree near you would lift up and then you'd be like, that's a leg. And you would look up and it was just, it wasn't even that strong, but this thing was like bigger than a house. And there was so many stories. The thing was like, is EverQuest, right? The graphics were not great. They were good for its time, but now it's kind of a joke. But at the time, there was so many people that would just like pass out in their chair, like foaming at the mouth. Because they were not ready for it. Alright, got credit for a few. Making sure we get that participation. I would burn the forest to the ground. Whoa, suddenly 1 hit point. Don't forget to fish after the event. I haven't fished in Guild Wars 2 in years, and I do not plan to break that streak now. Speaking of streak, for those interested, big stream this coming Sunday. Gonna be celebrating 7 years of daily streaming. Be playing lots of Guild Wars 2, have lots of legendaries to give away. You should totally stop by if you've got time. Hashtag ad. 7 years? Yes. Spiders are okay, centipedes are the real problem. Too many legged spawns of Satan. I finished the fishing achievements last night, and now I have so much fish vomit. Gross. Why do you always do those kind of birthday streams when I'm not home? Doing a train as Fireman Apprentice this Sunday. You're gonna be a Fireman's Apprentice, Rixie? Yo, that's awesome. I have huge respect for firemen. Been following since the first stream I watched. Nah, thank you, Grizzly. Appreciate it. Firemen have apprentices? I guess so. Lately, I've been enjoying the YouTube content going back to Guild Wars 2. Nice. Glad to have you. I have been for more than a year now, but I believe I'll be a full Fireman Apprentice on our Steam locomotive this year, so they told me. Wait, what? Fireman Apprentice on Steam locomotive. I don't know if I'm thinking of the right thing right now. Okay, hold on. When you say a fireman, do you mean like someone who goes around in a fire truck and puts out fires? Or is this something train related that I just don't know about? The steam locomotive thing gave me whiplash. No, he's gonna be someone who starts the fires. No, I hope not. Yes, my apprentice just got out of prison. He's got a book of matches. I put coal in the locomotive. I feel like you don't need a lot of years of training to shovel the coal in the locomotive. It's all those other buttons and switches that require the training. Coal is just coal go in. Easy. New blog post. Hey, nice. Oh, it's about Peach. I'm so happy I get to say Peach again. Sweet. You can't just shovel coal in it? Look, Rooksy, if I know anything about trains, I know that shoveling coal into the hot box makes the train go. So if we need to go faster, we shovel coal in. If we need to slow down, we shovel coal out. All right? I think I'm older than you. I think I know what I'm talking about. Plus, you also take care of the water that goes inside. Yeah, exactly. Whenever you want to hit the brakes, you just shoot water into the engine, and you just stick the shovel in and pull coal out. Whenever you want to speed up, you stick a straw in there and suck the water out, and you shovel coal in. This is very easy stuff. Oh my gosh. No! Chat! The lethal fumes had not faded yet. Instant karma. Karma for what? Talking about trains? I didn't do anything evil. You are evil? No. If you want to hear this music without dying, be a herald, turn on player instruments, use a facet. Weird. Hey, Muck, returning from a 3-year hiatus. Hello, Mythic Sex Viking. He says, do you recommend purchasing the new expansions? Can't decide if I want to do that or attempt crafting great armor again. Wait, what? Dude, I swear the names today. Hold on, chat. He's right here. Okay, so, Mr. or Mrs. Sex Viking. In answer to your question, do I recommend the new expansions? They're good. They're good. If you like Guild Wars 2, it's more Guild Wars 2. I will say, they are smaller expansions. So, Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire and End of Dragons had more content than Secrets of the Obscure or Janthir Wilds. But if you like Guild Wars 2, it's more Guild Wars 2 stuff. So yes, I recommend it. But you know, it's if it's in your budget. Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. If you got specific questions about what's in the expansions, I'm happy to answer it. Interesting name. So far today we had, what was the one that was Stupid Goddamn Idiot, and now Mythic Sex Viking. Two extremes. Squeak. I miss the days of Chubby the Odor. Wonder how Chubby's doing. Let Blue out of the YouTube box. What do you mean? She's not in a box. She's over there just living her best YouTube life. Blue would probably say to let you guys out of the Twitch box. Remind me, Muck, to never let you near a steam locomotive. So that's why when people always say trains take a long time to break, you can't just like stop in front of them. They can't stop in time. It's because the guy's in there frantically shoveling coal out of the box and spraying water in. He's got stuff to do. It takes a minute. Muck, what's your opinion on the current model with no map metas, which could interrupt exploration and normal events, and instead getting the convergences? No map metas, which could interrupt exploration and normal events, instead of getting convergences. Okay, so it sounds like you're talking about things like Dragon's Stand. Where Dragon's Stand, you have to be doing the meta in order to get the map exploration opened up. So what is my opinion on that? So the current meta, it's kind of, honestly, I like what they tried here with Mistburned, where it's just non-stop metas going all the time. If you want to farm here, you can come here at any time and just join in. Easy. However, Dragon's Stand is really cool too. Dragon's Stand is one of my favorite ones. So I certainly, don't mind this. But they tried to do the Dragon's Stand thing again with Interneos. Like, you can't get this part of the map opened up until after you get past this bit right here, which is in the meta. And I gotta say, I hate this map. Like, freaking Intermayonnaise? Like, dude, I have not gone back here except when I had to. I did this like twice. I'm not fond of this map. So I don't know. Like, that map has the same general idea as Dragon's Stand, but I feel like the execution was very different. Part of it is just the environment, though. It's just like the terrain and all. It's just like depression. it's not good vibes. Never got an E-Park kill. We always fail like 10%. Really? I killed him 2 or 3 times right when he first came out, and then I just never went back because I didn't enjoy it. But that's just me. For me, it was just like, you're in a cramped room with like 100 other people, and I had to turn down the graphics because it was just so laggy, and then like, you couldn't really see the boss attacks. And the boss like burst into the room and he looked awesome, and then he was just like... And then he just vibed. He like hardly had attack animations. Like, he looked awesome, but he just sat there the whole battle. The big Scorpion E-Park thing. Have you heard of The Precinct? I can recommend it for a new morning game. Oh, Riri. Well, you know what to do with recommendations. Soto came out, played the meta twice, said goodbye, never coming back. The fight is so boring and long. Good evening, everybody. Hi, X4. Boop. If you have a recommendation, gift it on Muck's Steam account. Good way to get his interest. I can't promise it, though. One thing I always say is, like, if you're wanting to gift me a game, talk with me first, because if I have zero intention of trying something, I'll tell you politely so that I don't want you to waste your money. But if I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool, yeah, I'll try that if I get time, I mean that, but I don't know when that's going to be. You know, speaking of, hang on a sec, Noxxi just gifted me this game because she thought I would like it. It's called the Slormancer. It kind of looks like V Rising combined with Crypto the Necrodancer combined with a few other things. It looks pretty cool. I could probably enjoy this for a few days. Maybe a touch of Noida? So this is a little indie game that Noxxi just sent me out of the blue the other day that I was like, yeah, I'll try this out sometime. Yeah, I mean, that's a recent one. I watched Noxxi play that, slormed all over the place. It's just, did she yell, it's Slorman time? For example, don't gift GTA to Buck. He does enjoy racing games. Yeah, I don't really care about the Grand Theft Auto franchise. It's not my thing. I would politely decline so you keep your money. What are some others? The casting of Frank Stone from the world of Dead by Daylight was recently gifted to me. And it doesn't have good reviews, which worries me, but I know there's a chunk of my audience that really enjoys me getting uncomfortable at scary games. So I accepted this one because I thought I could play that for them. But I hope it's good, but it's got really bad reviews right now. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was gifted to me. I enjoyed Yakuza Like a Dragon, and this is like after that in the series, I think. I don't know if this is a sequel or like just a DLC. But at the same time, like, although I enjoyed playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, I had really low viewer count those days. So if I'm going to play the next one, I gotta wait a bit, just for business reasons. I gotta space it out. Hey Mike, do you have an idea how to get started in things like Harvest Temple CM without a guide dedicated for this? I really want to get it for the Everbloom Infusion, but I can't find people patient enough to teach that. Ooh, I could definitely point you to a couple of individuals that run stuff like that, but as far as a larger community, chat, help me out with this one. Do you know any large communities that have people grinding for things like HTCM? Nanny says Void Lounge, Lady Merkwood. Okay, so 2 people said Void Lounge Discord. Okay. Alright, so I'm not familiar with Void Lounge, but there's a lot of people here plugging them, so it sounds like that's probably a safe bet. Raid Academy does some Strike CMs, not sure about Harvest Temple. Let's see. Alright, let's pop out of here. Void Lounge is HTCM and PBCM. Alright, has the patch hit yet? Is Piyush available? Begins Tuesday, May 20th at noon Pacific. Oh, noon Pacific. So this comes out at, 3 hours? I think that's 3 hours from now. Check my math, chat. I had to carry the 1. Ah. Top right says PvP Rush. We're not talking about PvP Rush. We're talking about Peach. We're talking about PvP Peach, not PvP Rouge. Totally different word. Wing 8 is so bad for me. It's like a big cluster of what the F is going on. We're going to Peach the Rouge. The French version, yeah. Let's see. Peach is in 3 hours, yeah. I don't care about, both of them. I don't care about both. Nothing for people who never did HTCM before. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently the patched Raid Greer and he's way worse now. Wait, what? Okay, so I heard that when Greer CM came out, that there was, maybe by accident, that they added a enraged timer to Greer normal mode. Like, the challenge mode came out, and then one of his things, the enraged timer, was applied to the normal mode. But it was never talked about. So people weren't sure if it was intentional or not, or if it was a glitch. I don't know if this is that. I'm not sure if this is that. Hang on, I'm just gonna blow my nose. Give me just a second. Okay. The way you say Piyush reminds me of how Bobby Duke says weed. Literal wood from trees. Weed. Ah, it's just fun. Like escargot, champagne, turbucket. So that's how people know you're educated. You gotta enunciate the syllables. Irish accent does that too. Irish accent does a lot of things. Let's go, me hounds. Your vids inspired me to start working on the Obsidian Light Armor set. Ooh, nice. That's a juicy project. A little bit a day, get it done. The Coupe de Gracie, Mandantori. Hey, look, I'm an honest guy. I've told you guys, Mandantori was me thinking. I legitimately for years thought there was another N in that word. I thought it was mandatory. I thought that was the word, mandatory. I didn't realize it was mandatory, and there was no second N. So the great thing about those saying things wrong so often is people just assume I'm trolling even when I do say things wrong for real. They're like, ah, classic mug. And I'm like, nope, I'm just dumb today. Except the lanterns, yeah. Getting ready to start my journey for the Legendary Trinkets. Alright. Let's see. Let's turn this down. Let's turn this down. Alright, chat. Let's talk about Peach. Alright. We are going to do a blog post video. Oh boy, everybody's favorite, right? Alright. Here we go. Hello gamers, today is Tuesday, I forgot, May 20th, and we've got a little bit of Guild Wars 2 news on Peach. We got some Peach news. Not to be confused with PvP Rouge, which is also starting today. This is about Peach. Jokes aside, PvP Rush event started today for anyone who's interested. Basically, you get more rewards for PvPing, but there is an update on the PvP push game mode, which we did a kind of an alpha or beta test on some time back. For those who are new or they didn't hear about this, basically it was a game mode where there were two teams, and I'm going to super simplify this. There's an objective that's like a payload, kind of like Overwatch or Team Fortress type of thing. And if your team is the only one standing on the objective, it moves toward the enemy. If their team's the only one standing on the objective, it moves toward you. So the objective is to constantly have team battles on the objective and push it to the other side. It's an interesting game mode because things like decappers or thieves that run around and assassinate people that are on their own, not as effective in this game mode. This game mode really pulls everyone into team fights, which, some people love, some people hate. So if you really like team fights, maybe you want to play a healer or something, great game mode for you. If not, and you just like, oh, I like playing a decapper, well, then you know that this would not be something that you would want to do. But anyway, we did the early version of Peach, and I did a video on it after I tried it out for some time. At the time of recording this, they have released this blog post, and it apparently comes out in about 3 hours, and I'll be offline at that time, so I'm recording this now. But it is coming back with some updates, and we're going to discuss what those are. So, Peach PvP Game Mode Development Update and Beta Event. Greetings, Tyrians! We're back with an update on Peach, the fast-paced 5v5 PvP game mode first revealed alongside Janthir Wilds. Fast-paced is right, because if one team just wrecks the other and then starts pushing, and then they respawn and just get wrecked again, it's over. It's like a 2-minute match. And for better or for worse, at least if you're on in a game where the enemy just completely outclasses you, it's over quick. So it is fast-paced. In Peach, teams battle for control of a moving objective, working to escort it into the enemy base while fending off their opponent's efforts to do the same. It's a tug-of-war where map control, timing, and team coordination are the keys to victory. Peach draws inspiration from payload or escort modes found in many other competitive games. If you missed the original announcement or want a refresher on how the mode came to be, check out our first Peach blog from last year. And yes, as I mentioned, I gave a couple of examples from my own experience, which was like Team Fortress and Overwatch. I'm sure there's other games that had, payload style stuff before. But yeah, this draws inspiration from those. Back in September, we hosted the first live beta for Peach, featuring a rough prototype of the mode's mechanics on a placeholder map. While the visuals and the UI were in the early stages of development, the goal was to gauge the community interest, and the response exceeded our expectations. Your enthusiasm and feedback gave us the confidence to move forward and invest in building Peach into a fully realized game mode. Yo, that's awesome. I know I personally loved it, but I had no idea what the numbers were for how many people tried this and seemed to like it. As many long-time viewers would know, I like playing support much of the time. Occasionally I'll, break out of that and I'll do something else, but I like filling health bars back up more than I like chunking them down. And Push was great for that. because it's constant team fighting. You know, if you're running around in the Eternal Coliseum as a support, you got to make sure you're glued to someone because your team's just running all over the place. And push, everyone is basically focused on one spot. Win or lose, that's where the battle's happening. So it's great if you're running a heal build, you know. So I really enjoyed it because it kept forcing the kind of fights that I enjoyed. We've made some updates, and we will be running another live beta event beginning on Tuesday, May 20th at noon Pacific time. UTC-7, and running until May 27th at noon Pacific time, UTC-7. So that's 1 week. We're also running a PvP Rouge bonus event at the same time, so you can collect some extra rewards while you help us test the Rouge game mode. And then there's a picture here. So, prototype check. Iteration. We've committed to building the full version of the game. Mode. At this stage, we're addressing open questions in design and major feedback points. We'll test various approaches to find the best path forward. But the game mode systems are taking shape and replacing the prototypes. What to expect? QA time is dedicated to ensuring a testable experience in the iteration phase and isn't overly concerned with polish. You should still expect to see bugs. Our new map is still very early in the art department, but it maintains a lot of what we learned about layout and gameplay flow in the first beta. You can also see the area's thematic direction. We have upgraded to a proper game mode with a new UI. Game status and event communication should be much improved, so we'd like to get your feedback on anything that is still confusing or unclear. Event voiceover and much of the text is still reused or temporary, so we're mostly looking at their functionality rather than details of the stage. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like, there was some voice lines that they had, the announcer yelling, like, you'd be pushing it and the announcer would be like, you know, they've taken the waterfall. And you're just like, what? There's a snake in my boot. You're like, what are you talking about? Like, the announcements did not make any sense at all. And then also the thing that you were pushing around was like the happy cloud with the rainbow pooping out of it from Super Adventure Box. Like, it was placeholders everywhere. So I'm looking forward to seeing what actually got replaced. And like they said, the UI that showed the score was confusing too. Giving helpful feedback. Are the goals and state of the game clear to you? Is anything confusing or distracting? How do you feel about the center secondary objective change? Ooh, I don't know what that is yet. And then after the iteration is Polish, and then after that is shipped. All right. Pushing out some changes. We have some, sorry, I almost said it wrong. We have some significant updates prepared for the next beta event that we'd like to share with you. First, we have a first iteration of the new map for the Push mode. We received a lot of positive feedback on the layout of the placeholder map from the initial beta. The initial one, I believe, was a Z shape. It was effectively a Z shape. Like it looked kind of like a square, but like one team would push like this and the other team would push like that. So that you would always go like one way, 90-degree turn, and then another way, and then, you know, home score. We've done our best to maintain zero footprint of the old map for the new ones, just with a fresh coat of paint. We'd like, just like in the first beta, the new map still has a good amount of gray box art. But we're comfortable with the broad layout and want to start getting feedback on more specifics. The Super Adventure Box's Angry Cloud will be taking a well-earned leave from the game mode, and in its place is a slick Jade Tech hover cart. The hover cart objective will display a colored highlight indicating which team has control for easy readability. And that's the payload. It's an actual, it looks like it's got like baskets. We're delivering a vital supply of baskets to the rebellion. We've also made an update to the center secondary objective. During the first beta, this was a channeled objective that would prevent the enemy team from contesting the capture point for a period of time. The feedback around this objective was generally negative, so there wasn't any counterplay to the negative effect once it was applied. We do like the idea of the center objective creating pressure on the capture point for the enemy team, but we want to do it in a more interactive way. For the upcoming beta, we'll be utilizing mechanics from the Skyhammer Conquest map. Suddenly nervous, that's my least favorite map. When players successfully channel the center objective, 3 Skyhammer cannon shots will fire on the capture point. These Skyhammer shots can be dodged with proper timing, but failing to do so results in massive damage and a knockdown effect. Internally, we've been playing with the new center objective mechanic, and it certainly feels like a step in the right direction, so we're excited to see what the community thinks about it. Yeah, I mean, that does sound better than just making it, you know, impossible to affect the payload at all for a period of time. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll have to try it out. Oh, and then there's a picture of the new UI here. So, red has pushed it 71% of the way to blue. Okay. So, this is important. Red has gone, I think, like, if that's middle, red's gone from there to there. So, if blue pushes it to there, they will technically have crossed more distance, but they have gotten not as far from the starting line. So their percentage will be lower and blue would lose. And that's important to note, because I saw a lot of confusion on, wait, why did that team win? We went farther. And it was like, well, you went farther because you got all the way back to your line and then you pushed it back. But that, you know, you didn't go farther from the starting point. So hopefully that's more clear. The last main objective for the next beta is a first version implementation of what will eventually become the official scoreboard UI for the game mode. During the first beta, the map didn't do a great job of representing who was ahead, especially in close games. The new UI gives players an easy view of the current relative position of the capture point along its path, in addition to displaying each team's best push as a percentage of path traveled. Looking for feedback. During the beta event, the push mode will replace the ranked queue with the same mini-season rewards. You'll also be able to access the push mode in custom arena maps, and as we mentioned, we have a PvP Rouge event happening at the same time for extra incentive to get into the action. Whether it's your first look at push or you're a battle-scarred veteran, we want to hear from you, a battle-scarred veteran of pushing. We'll head over to the Push Feedback Forum thread, which there's a link right here, and let us know what you think. We're specifically interested in feedback regarding the changes that we've made, so like the Skyhammer cannon shots, things like that, but we'd love broader feedback on the push game mode in general as well. Our goal throughout this beta process is to keep the community involved to make sure that we're making the best possible version of push that we can. We'll see you in the mist. And then there is oh my god, wait, is this from the new map? I don't know where the heck they would have put this on the map. Okay, now I'm really interested in seeing. By the time you see this video, people might have already like gone in there and seen it. Yeah, so in the past, the push game mode map was just like a big open snowy field with like the path on it and then like the moving cloud. Yeah, it's like very JTech, isn't it, in the background? Huh. Well, there's certainly more things to line of sight behind. I wonder if that's the payload right there. There's more things to line of sight behind. There was almost nothing that you could like line of sight behind and like cut corners and stuff. Like let's say someone was like a Deadeye was shooting you with a rifle. There was not a lot of objects you could like, you know, get behind a corner or something like that on the map at first. Now, assuming this is a picture of the map, there's certainly more things that you could like line of sight around. And I think that's good for gameplay, because like the main counterplay, if a Soul Beast with a longbow or a Deadeye with a rifle is shooting you from way outside of your range, the main counterplay is get behind something. So if there's not a lot of things to hide behind, you know, there's less of that you could do. But yeah, definitely have to log in and see the thing for myself. So I'm going to try this out later on. At the time of recording this, we just have the blog post. The game mode is not out yet. But absolutely looking forward to trying it. And if you've got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, or updates on push, put them in the comment section down below. If you try the game mode and you have feedback on something you love or hate and you hope they change or don't change, report it in the forum thread. If you put it in the thread, there's a chance that nothing will happen, but there's also a chance that something will happen. But if you just quietly whine about it to yourself, there's zero chance anything's going to happen. So if you've got something you want to change, report it there. And yeah, that's it. Leave a comment. I'll fight you there. There we go. Video done, chat. Okay. Feedback, I hate PvP. Smash it. Your feedback is not useful here. When people say it reminds them of other payload games that aren't TF2, my back suddenly hurts. Lol. I'm going to report we need Happy Cloud back. Do it. Okay. Now I've got to, hang on a sec. I need to upload this to the YouTube chat for my other job as international internet superstar celebrity sensation YouTuber, Mukluk, the giant plushie payload. Yo, that would be amazing. Just the whole payload just has a gigantic version of this guy sitting on it, and you just push him around, and he just judges you mockingly. Alright, let's see. And upload video. And where's the one I just recorded? Is that it? Yeah, that's today. Okay. Alright, chat. You know what time it is? It is time to make a thumbnail. Time to do some art. Let's see. Hey, how do you make the U with the dots above it? That's not in my language. I need to know how to spell peach. I need to have that in the thumbnail. You look at all those happy faces in the chat. I'll copy paste one of those. Peach. Put the cool S in it. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Hang on, I'm waiting for the upload to YouTube to finish. It's 90%. Copy paste it. I will. That U is not pronounced like U. It's pronounced like Y. All right, in your own. How would you spell push? You don't have to use English letters. How would you spell push? I'm learning how to spell the way that my brain thinks. Thumbnail template. There we go. Push. Dune win. Push. Pouch. Val, you said pouch. Hello, fans of Push. Yes. Let's see. Okay, hang on. Let's hide that. Hide that. Let's hide Asterion. Hide Doom Guy. Okay. This is a Guild Wars 2 thing. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see. We need a background image. Should I do the payload? Maybe I should use the payload for this one. Ooh, hold on a sec. Hold on. Larger version. There we go. It's a very dark image. I don't think that's very thumbnail-y. Hold on. Patrick pushing. PNG. Alright, perfect. Alright, I found exactly what I needed. One sec. Alright, and put this down. And let's see, new layer. Alright. Oh, there's two of them. This is getting out of hand. Alright. We don't need that one. We just need this one. There we go. Perfect. Put butter on it. I don't think it needs butter. I mean, I guess we could put butter on the payload. On his head, everything needs butter. I mean, we could put anything on the payload. Butter PNG. Everything needs butter. Really, Effie? You put that on your cereal? That is so much butter. Oh my god. There we go. Butter on the payload. Okay. Let's see. The cool S is a valuable payload. The cool S. Let's see here. Change this. Push. PvP game mode is back. Alright. Are we happy with that spelling of push? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna move the words up here to the top middle. Spell it with the German U, it's better. Let's see. Hang on. I gotta copy paste this. I don't know how to type it. I'm just assigning new ways of using letters that aren't even my language. Keys! There we go. Let's do that. And then... Oh, you know what we could do is we could get the cloud that got fired and like have him sat in a corner somewhere. Oh god. No. There we go. All right, and then like ground 10. Ah. All right, that's better. We'll do black border. Look at this thumbnail master work. I am a self-taught master at using free software. Where's the excited guy? Ooh, oh, that's too much. Ooh, there we go. I think you could add a plush to this, just saying. Let's see. Hang on. I gotta see if I can find an image of it. Oh, wait, hold on. I still have the website. Just put a plush on the payload? I like that idea. There we go. Very valuable payload. Plushies and butter. No wonder everyone's fighting for it. Alright, let's see. Guild Wars 2 Super Adventure Box Cloud. Okay, let me see what I can do with this. Okay, it's got it. So first off, we're gonna put him up here. And it's a new layer. And layer, transform, flip horizontally. He's mad about it, chat. He lost his job. He's mad about it. Alright, he's gonna be right there. Alright, anything else? The payload needs a spooky game. What? Just like, what is it? What? Where's 2? Maybe add a few more U's to Push. I've already done the coloring. It would be too much work. Imagine being unemployed as a cloud, right? It's a freaking economy. Hey, Mug It All Jab. I am. If you put the cloud there, you could also use a unicorn, which is farting rainbows. That is a weird thing to say. Put SAB rainbows flowing out of his eyes as if it would represent his tears. Oh, that is not a PNG. That is not a clear background PNG. Neither is that. Hold on, we're getting desperate now. Oh my god, alright, now I give up. Put Gen 3 bacon. That I can do. Hang on. Let me find it. Okay, I have found the Gen 3 bacon. Oh god, I made a mistake. Control Z. Alright, so I accidentally pulled the Gen 3 bacon GIF into GIMP and it made like 100 new layers. And I had to Control Z. Dude, I thought I crashed the program for a second. I didn't mean to pull the GIF in. Where's the PNG? Okay, there, this one. Oh my god. Okay. Bacon, butter, and plushies. Alright, that's done. Alright. Okay, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Alright, Control S, save it. It's taking a minute. There we go. Okay. Export, thumbnails, Guild Wars 2, news, 5/20/25. Good enough for government work? I think I went way beyond government work. Okay. And let's see. Alright, and search by news videos. Copy that one. May 6th. May 20th? Alright, what is it called? Someone give me the U again. Pige! Game mode is back. No, the big U! I need the big U! I need the thing! Thank you, Europeans. Pige game mode is back. Alright, there we go. Oh god, I still have a butter tab open. Imagine I suddenly die and they come in there investigating me and they're like, he has a web page open for butter, and one for bacon, and one for plushies. I don't know. Maybe he had a heart attack just looking at this. Alright, there's the sources. And let's see. Thumbnails. Europeans, typical American, that's German. I didn't remember which language you with dots above it was from, so I said Europeans just to be safe. I knew it was one of the countries over there, not all of them, but I couldn't recall. There we go. Okay. Man. There's some languages that even though I don't speak them, I'll recognize them when I hear them. Because, like, if you're ordering breakfast in German, it sounds like you're summoning Cthulhu or something, right? It's just, like, it always sounds angry, you know? And if someone's like, hon, 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 I'm like, oh, they're French. But if it's just, like, big U dots, I don't know. Some Americans think Europe is a country, so at least you know that. No, Europe is a city. I'm kidding. Let's see. Alright, so import ending to video. Calzones are obviously Italian. Obviously. Okay. And now we double check this, just make sure it got the ending cards. YouTube being very slow. Hello gamers, today is... It's me! Yeah. Yeah, there's the ending cards. Okay, good. Okay. So, that's done. Public. Alright. German is the worst language to hear? No, I don't think it's the worst language to hear. I just think it's like an intimidating language. Like, here, hold on a sec. Let's see, translate from English to German. Alright? It's just, okay. So it's like, it's not that it's like the worst language to hear, as someone in chat said. It's just an intimidating language. Like, if you, okay. I'd like 2 eggs, scrambled, and a side of bacon. Okay, guy walks into Waffle House. Ich hatte gerne 2 Wurfleider und die ein Portion Speck. Like, is this a stick up? Like, do I give you my money at that point? Like, what the hell? Like, like, it sounds intimidating. Like, oh my god. You pronounced it in the most angry way possible? Yeah, but it only works like that with German. Mug Germans do not talk like that. That's a lie. All of the American television shows I've seen tell me that you talk like that. German don't shout out all the time. I have never seen a German on TV that wasn't shouting. Take all the breakfast, I surrender. I just came back to the live and immediately greeted with a German jump scare. I stand by what I said. If it's on TV, it must be true, right? Yeah. Americans aren't scary when screaming, only scary when they use the metric system. That's because they only use the metric system when they're measuring bullet casings. Or drugs. Like, when you hear grams or millimeters, you freaking run. Like, yeah. New patron sounded loud. Yeah. 2 eggs scrambled in German. New patron. Noise. That's because of stereotypes. Oh yeah, of course. As long as we can all laugh about it, it's fine though. If you hear actual German speak, you'll reconsider. I'm German, I know what I'm talking about. The other German meme we see a lot in like TikToks and stuff is like, you know, guys like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need to replace my fridge. It's starting to break down, and then like his German friend is immediately outside his house with a dolly and is helping him set the whole thing up without being asked. He's like, dude, you're a real friend, and he goes to hug the guy, and the German guy's like, don't touch me. Like, he's always there for you. He's ready to help, but don't show any affection. That's the other one that I hear about a lot on my side of the world. No touch, only work. Yeah. Let's see, where's Miss Bird? Oh, it's so far up here. I'm English, I've lived in Germany 20 years. The World War II paradigm significantly misrepresents Germany in 2025. I am sure that's true for a lot of places. Here, I hope you guys understand it's all in good fun. Muck, what are you doing to get back into Guild Wars 2 when you get burned out or bored of playing Guild Wars 2? Cut back on it. Is my honest answer. That's true for any video game. I love Guild Wars 2. I love Guild Wars 2. I used to play it 7 days a week and streamed it every single day for a couple years, and I burned myself out on it. So what did I do? I cut back to playing it on Tuesdays. And then on the other days, I try other things. Currently, I'm in the middle of playing Dune the Dark Ages, Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode, and Riftbreaker on Mondays. And I play Guild Wars 2 on Tuesdays. And that's worked out great for me. It's allowed me to kind of recharge and kind of get refreshed on it. And, you know, I'm not, like, burned out anymore. But I think that's true for any game. If you play any game, like, to an excessive degree, you can get burned out and you will crave something else. And that's okay. Let's see. The total opposite of Latinos. We love to show affection, and people often misrepresent it. Back when this is going to sound stereotype, but it's totally true. Back when I worked in a hotel, I worked at the front desk, and the entire housekeeping staff were, you know, Hispanic. And most of them were bilingual and could speak Spanish and English. A couple of them only spoke Spanish. But I was on, like, really good terms with them. Like, I'd have lunch with them, and, like, we all got along great. I think it's because we all hated our boss. So, I was, like, like this one pasty white boy hanging out with a bunch of, like, you know, middle-aged Hispanic women and just laughing, having lunch. And, like, one of them would say something, and then they would all laugh, and I'm like, what'd she say? And they would translate it, and then I'd laugh, too. Dude, I specifically remember one of the funniest things I saw was one of them, and she was like 5'0" chat. She was like 5'0", and her boss's name was Casey. And one day, she needed to carry a bunch of stuff upstairs, and I grabbed a handful of like sheets and towels, and I'm helping her out. I'm carrying them upstairs to wherever she needs them. And she had just gotten chewed out by her boss, and his name was Casey. And we're walking up there, right? We're walking up there, and she's got her hands full of towels, and she's like, oh, I hate Casey. I want to take his stupid bleach there. Just, And I'm like, what? Like this little old woman. Chat, she was like this wrinkly, old 5-foot tall Hispanic lady, and she was doing knee strikes to a pile of towels and saying she wanted to do that to our boss. She was wonderful. Still waiting for Muck to play Witcher 3. I did play Witcher 3 before I was a streamer. So I have played it, and I've played Heart of Stone, but I haven't played Blood and Wine. So I'd be happy to play Witcher 3 again at some point. It's a long playthrough. I haven't done it as a streamer though.
Even if they can't tell us about the Mistburn.
Hate gets people together. Common enemy. Thanks to Monk, your guide made me still play and love yours too. You're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hang out with old ladies long enough they'll start confessing to murder. Monk still small remind about delete bots comments under new video. Are they already there? Hang on. Do we have the butt bots? Are the butt bots here? Hang on, chat. We're gonna check for butt bots. Oh, here we go. Some lady's tush. Very cool. Thank you for your attention to detail. Strawberry. Very interesting approach to the topic. Thank you for such an informative video. Heart cat. Okay. I think we're caught up for the moment. What? How are you sure it's a bot? Every single video I upload to YouTube, not the YouTube shorts, but just full videos, within a couple of minutes, there will be 2 or more comments from people that are, like, their profile picture is either a butt or a front butt. And it says stuff like that. And then if you go to their page, their YouTube page, they've got like a link to on their banner or something, and it will lead to a basically like a scam. So they're trying to get people to go, oh, she's hot, click on picture, get scammed. You missed a comment? No, I saw the next comment. It actually makes sense considering the video that it's on. Yeah, I'll just friggin' play it. Hang on a second. This was a YouTube short that we posted today. Okay, the Minotaur ran past me and is chasing that other... Hold on, where's the volume control? Random guy... Hold on, where's the friggin' volume control? Okay, the Minotaur ran past... Dude, what? Okay, whatever. Me and is chasing that other random guy. Lich just... Dude, the Lich only lasts 20 seconds. I feel like I need a longer duration Lich, but he's already so much mana. If I'm gonna do that, he needs to be, I need like better mana equipment. What are you? Bandit Bowman. Yeah, that is a bandit.
You die!
What is he doing? He's just like taunting her. You only live for 20 seconds. Please do something. Finally. He's like, for 18 seconds, he was like, calm me. And then on the last second of his life, he's like, oh, it just killed her with an ice comment. Like, what? Dude, you didn't have to freaking tease it that much. All right, so that is what that video was about. And then she wrote this, and you guys thought it was a bot, and I'm like, no, it actually makes sense for that video. It actually makes sense for that one. So that one can stay. Like, I don't think that one's a bot.
All right.
Mug, how long did you stream before you became a full-time streamer? Few years. When I first started out, I was streaming 2 or 3 hours per evening that I streamed as just like a fun hobby. And then it was, I had been doing it for a few years and I had already built up a bit of a following before I tried going full-time. Honestly, I don't know if I ever would have had the guts to try going full-time if not for the fact that our tech support company closed the department I was in. So everyone in that department, including me, lost their jobs. And so it was kind of like, well, I could go try to find another job or try to invest more time into this thing I'm doing that's earning a little bit of money that I love doing and see how it works out. And it worked out. I didn't know you knew Fairlight. It was cool to see you play Age of Wonders 4 with him. And a lovely, encouraging wife. It's true. She's a huge help. I tell you what, if I wasn't already married before I started the 7-year streak, I wouldn't have met anyone during it. Because I am not going outside a whole lot, Joe. Okay, Fairlight. Yeah, Fairlight and I first met when we got paired up for the Plunderstorm tournament. He and I both got invited, along with a bunch of other creators. Hold on, hang on a sec. What was that video called? No. Plunderstorm? Bro, what? Where's that video? I entered... Oh, here we go. I entered a $50,000 tournament in the wrong MMO. Or the wrong game, that's what it was. Yeah, so this video, yeah, dude, Asmongold was there, Shylily was there, and then friggin' I was there. Dude, I was the smallest streamer in the whole thing. So, Fairlight and I were paired up to be partners in that tournament, and that's how I met him. And then he later on invited me to do a Total War campaign with him. It was a multiplayer Total War. The full playlist for Plunderstorm and Total War are on Mukluk Plays. And then later on, he invited me to this Age of Wonders thing. So that's the third event I've done with him. Yeah, he's great. He's good. Hi, is it worth getting back to Guild Wars 2? It's still here, and they're still adding more stuff. If you like Guild Wars 2, they have added more Guild Wars 2 back to it. You said back to Guild Wars 2, so I assume you've played it before. But yeah, they've added more stuff. Even if it's a bot, the comment's worth it. Yeah. If Guild Wars 2 is such a good game, why did you shave your beard? Completely unrelated. Honestly, I just felt like it. Same reason I grew the beard. I just felt like it. Maybe I'll grow it again at some point. I now know that I'm capable of doing so. Blessed in that regard. Have Total War 1 hour turns been resolved? My Total War turns are not 1 hour. Fairlight's, I don't know. Honestly, I think the best way to handle that is, so here's the deal. In Total War Warhammer 3, it's a turn-based game. But let's say it's me and Aralozen fighting against Bob and Ted. If Aralozen gets in a fight with Ted, me and Bob are just sitting there. But Aralozen can lend me control of some of his units, Ted can lend some of his units to Bob, and so we all get to participate. However, if someone's just taking forever to take their turn on, like, the turn map, all you can do is go, hurry up! And, you know, that's it at that point. Yeah, so there's limitation. Age of Wonders 4, great game. However, people not involved in fights can't do anything. So, like, I had a 1 hour long battle against a guy named Bombjus on the enemy team, and my 3 allies could do nothing, and my 3 enemies besides Bombjus could do nothing other than just watch. And then right after that, there was a battle where my 3 teammates fought Bombjus, and so his 3 teammates, again, were just sitting there watching. And the end result was his 3 teammates were sitting there for 4 hours unable to play the game because of all the battles happening that they weren't involved in. So that was a real bummer. Hi, thank you. What do you think about 40 years plus old man that have financially stable and play video games and just enjoy his life? No Mochi, I think that is a life goal. I am not there yet. Like, I'm financially stable. I'm playing video games. I'm not 40 plus yet. But give me a bit of time. My aim is to still be financially stable and playing video games when I'm 40 plus. So what you just described sounds like some people might think of that as an insult. That sounds to me like a goal. I'll shoot for that. I'll let you know when I get there. Let's see. Well, I will say it's kind of reinvigorated my interest in Age of Wonders 4. I would love, there's multiple campaigns that have come out that I would love to play on stream with you guys, and there would be no waiting. Because when you're playing just single player versus the campaign, every time you end your turn, the AI takes their turn instantly, and then you go again. So there's no waiting. I think even Bluebell could get into it. Because we could actually, like, you know, follow the story and stuff. If your daily stream streak ever got broken, would you restart the count? I don't know. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I feel like if the streak got broken, I could adjust my schedule. Be like, all right, guys, it was a fun ride. From now on, I'm going to take Sundays off and freaking sleep in. You know, like, I could do something like that. Like, the thought has crossed my mind. I don't know for sure what I would do, though. I don't know 100% for sure what I would do. But it would give me a moment to pause and be like, all right, do I want to keep doing it? Because right now I stream 55 hours a week, and then after that, I make YouTube videos. So if I wanted to change something, that would be the time to do it. What's the best way to get fast levels, like mastery thingies? So Mastery XP is divided by area. So there's Mastery XP in core game, there's Mastery XP in Heart of Thorns, etc., etc. So each area is going to have its own best way of getting Mastery XP. For Heart of Thorns, I feel like it's just doing meta events. For core game, you know, you could do map comp, and you could just do fractals. Fractals give core game Mastery XP. So the short answer is it depends on which section of the game. But there's good stuff for everything. Lady Luck brought me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. To be honest, I'm that man. I don't work anymore. My employee do my job, so I just play gaming while I lose or just having fun. No Mochi. If you're financially stable, we only have one life, right? If you're financially stable and you're enjoying your life and you're not hurting other people, I think that's okay. Now, it also depends, though, on what you want out of life. Are you addicted to video games, or are you genuinely having fun? There is a difference. For example, if you're like, okay, I'm making up a hypothetical. I want to really stress I don't know much about you. But if you're someone who's sitting at home, and you're lonely, and you would like to have a significant other, and you don't have one, but all you do is you go onto League of Legends and complain about your jungler every night, well, that's a you problem. You're not taking any steps to change the situation, you know? But if you are single or in a relationship, and whatever it is, you're happy with your current status, and you're playing games, and you're financially stable, I think that's fine. I don't see a problem with that in my worldview. It's my jungler's fault. I'm single. Yeah, jungler ganked my girlfriend. She left me because I couldn't protect her from the jungler. If I play Guild Wars 2 and watch streams, am I addicted? No, you're Mukluk. Muck, are you gonna play Elder Ring? Oh wow, I did Whiplash. I was thinking Elder Scrolls, then you said Elder Ring. Elden Ring, Night Ram. It looks fun. I'd be happy to try that out sometime. I love my job. I'm fortunate to be able to keep working as Muck loves his job same with me. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I love my job now, and I'm going to keep it for as long as I'm able to do so. If I can do this till I retire, great. If I can do this just as long as possible, I'll do that. Alright. Like many people, before this, I worked jobs not because I liked them, but because I needed a job, you know? They're like, what brings you here? And I'm like, I need money. Money. Food! You know? So, like, they're like, are you passionate about working in tech support? And I'm like, no, food. And no, I'm passionate about eating. That's it. Like, I would say I was good at solving problems in tech support. Freaking hated it. It eroded the soul. Like, if I, for whatever reason, couldn't do this anymore, I would try to avoid going back to tech support unless it was the only job that paid the bills for some insane reason. I don't want to go back to that if I can avoid it.
Work on a cure.
It is taxing. I just realized ANET is paying 10 actors to play one character commander, meaning they're paying 10 times the amount of money to record the same lines. Well, keep in mind, though, that some of the actors that voice one of the player characters also voice other player characters. Like, okay, female Char player, female Sylvari player, Countess Anise, and Queen Jenna. Isn't 3 or 4 of those the same person? So that's, yeah, they probably just pay her for, like, you know, her time, and then she records lines for all of those things. I don't think it's they're paying her by the character. I would imagine. Ow. Considering coming back to Guild Wars 2 again, what's currently a good pick for healer and support that doesn't have to click many buttons at once? Mechanist? Willbender? Tempest? Druid, maybe? Those come to mind. Not Firebrand. Firebrand has a lot of button... Firebrand's a great support. It has a lot of button clicking. So I don't recommend that based on what you said. I have wife, and she is okay that I'm a gamer because we have financially stable, so it's okay. Lol, I'm a hard gamer. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, there's the whole stereotype of, like, yo, guy wants to sit home and play video games, and wife gets mad at him for playing video games. You see that on TV often. It's so dumb. It's like, as long as if you're the guy and you're paying your bills and you're helping out with chores around the house and then you're playing video games as your #1 hobby in your free time, that's fine. But if you're in a room and you've got like 27 Wendy's cups to your right because you never even bothered to take those to the trash can, you need to shift a little bit of your gaming time to cleaning up around you. You know, there's a line. There's a line. But yeah, if you're taking care of all of the needs and then you're doing the wants, it's fine. Like, whether your wants is playing video games, painting Warhammer figurines, doing interpretive dance, you know, whatever. As long as you're taking care of the usual stuff and then your wants aren't hurting anybody else, do what you want. Ask wife to pick up cups, got it. I feel like you missed the part.
Alchemy.
Let's see. It's just Tolman can basically auto-attack playing support, throwing some symbols on the ground, that's it. The thing is, like, for a heal brand, just keeping quickness up involves a lot of buttons. Like, it's like you've got 20 buttons that each give quickness for 2 seconds, and you gotta press all of them every time they light up. Like, it's... Like, your mantras you have to hit, like, 4 times per 20 seconds. Like, each individual mantra button. Like, it's... Compared to the other supports, it's a lot of clicking. It's not bad. It's just, it's a lot more button presses. Muck, is your on-screen chat, YouTube chat, and Twitch merged? It is not. The chat that is... I can see both chats, but the chat that is in the corner of the screen is just the Twitch chat, because Twitch, although it allows multi-streaming, it currently does not allow you to show the chats from the other streams. They have some weird rules about that, and there are some streamers that do it, but know that if Twitch decided to ban them, they could, and then you couldn't even complain about it. So, it's a weird Twitch rule, but I'm following it because most of my income comes from Twitch, so I'm gonna play nice. It's about liability, yeah. It's okay, here's the example they gave. I'm gonna try to quote this as best as I can. So, let's say someone pops into my Twitch chat, and they say the N-word, okay? And it pops up in the corner of the stream. Someone reports it or clips it and sends it to Twitch. Say, hey, ban Mukluk. He let this guy do this. Then they come back to the Twitch chat and they look at the history and they see that I banned the guy after he did that. They'll be like, no, he handled it. If it's from YouTube chat, they can't see any history that I handled that. So they're like, oh, this guy just lets his community say the N-word. Ban. That was the example they gave. So they cannot see if you're regulating your chat if it's on a different platform, like if I have it merged with Facebook Gaming or YouTube or Kick or like Twitter stream or something like that. They can't see that I'm regulating it, and so they just have to assume that you're not. Go try Push PvP. Push PvP comes out in 2 hours. It's not out yet. They said it was going active at noon Pacific, which is 2 hours from now. I got mail about it in game. I'm just telling you what their blog post said.
Alchemy.
This is Rush, this is Roosh, not Poosh. You got mail about PvP Roosh. That's a whole different event. But it does rhyme. What? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Cold Mystery says YouTube in terms of video and chat is amazing, but the chat system is bad. I think that both Twitch and YouTube have some systems that are better than each other. Let me give you an example. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can hit pause, go AFK, come back, hit play, maybe speed it up by 50% and catch up to the live stream. On Twitch, that is a pain. You can do it on Twitch, but it's a pain. Another example. On Twitch, there's animated emotes. On YouTube, there's only still frame emotes. So I cannot put my animated emotes on YouTube at this time. I think Twitch wins in that regard. Twitch and YouTube both allow you to raid other things or other creators when you finish the stream to support someone else. When I finish my stream on Twitch, I could raid Loranity if she's live and boost her viewership for that day. When she finishes her stream, she can raid me and boost my viewership for that day. And it helps us out in a big way. On YouTube, raiding someone else is a 14-step process that's like pulling teeth. Like, you have to get their permission, they have to, like, sign a document, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that I've watched tutorials on it and couldn't get it to work. I have not been able to get the raid system to work on YouTube because it's such a long process. It's not easy. So that one is a win I give to Twitch. On Twitch, VODs are where streams go to die. On YouTube, a VOD can just suddenly blow up a year later. Just
forgot my subiversary is also my birthiversary, Mukluk Bobble.
What in the blazes happened to you two?
Your birthversary. Thank you, Twix. 43 months together. Appreciate you. On Twitch, you can only do it if the creator has VODs enabled. Close No Cigar, thank you for the Prime. The Prime subs are a huge help, thank you. Typical ADHD reading, only read half of it. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. You just saw the Rush event, you thought it was the Push event. Yeah, the Push event is supposed to replace ranked queuing in roughly 2 hours.
For this survey, we want to capture samples of the wildlife here so we can study.
How did the plushies do? Dude, they did great.
These creatures.
We were trying, our goal was 200. But 746 people got an Asura plushie. They are in production right now. I'm so happy with this. Chat, this was something that last November, I was just like, I got a dumb idea. And now that dumb idea is being shipped to people's houses. That's so freaking cool to me. I'm so happy with how it went. I've already asked them for, like, I basically proposed to them some more ideas for, like, future ones. I'm waiting to hear back. Funny enough, the longest step of the process was getting permission from ArenaNet to say Asura. Like, I could have cut the corner and said legally distinct little goblin guy with wizard hat, but then yeah, that kind of would have been in bad taste, and I don't want to burn a bridge with ArenaNet. But I've already asked them for some more ideas, or I've gone to them with more ideas to see if they have any feedback, but haven't gotten a response yet. What other plush ideas? A certain blue baby dragon, and a certain lovable char in chibi form with an apple, and maybe his rifle on his back. Those are the top two in my head right now.
In these magnificent isolated wind tunnels. Send the journey king soaring,
Need Bram.
very much enjoyed.
Did ANA give you any trouble, or was it long response time? Did they give me trouble? No. It was just really long response time. It was I think it was like 3 to 5 months of me trying to get a response. Because, like, I have a contact that I can send a message to. But sometimes I get a response to that message weeks later, right? Like, they don't check the Mukluk inbox very much. Then they were like, oh yeah, I'll pass that along. And then they passed it along to someone, and then I think that guy didn't care. So then I had to poke again, and you don't want to be annoying, you know? Like, you know, if you ask someone something and it's important to you, but you don't know if they even read it, and you don't want to, hey, did you get my message? So like, I waited a month, then I poked again, then I waited a month, and I poked again. So it was like 3 pokes in 3 months. And then I finally got a response back, and they're like, all right, they said they'll allow it up to 1,000. And I was like, I'm not gonna sell 1,000, that's fine. So they gave me a contract, and I signed it. And it said certain things like you cannot say this is an ArenaNet merchandise, because it's not. You can't say it's Guild Wars 2 merchandise, but you can say Asura, you know, stuff like that. You can make it look like an Asura. And I was just like, that's totally fine. I can work with that. And then that's what we ended up with. So now, like, at least from this one exchange, the individual that I believe he works in their marketing department knows me. So now I'm hoping that will make any future ones easier. And then Makeship, the company that makes the plushies, they know how successful this campaign was, and they said on any future campaigns we can skip the pledging step because they trust that we're good enough for that. Like, those of you who were here since the beginning of the plushie thing will remember that at the beginning we had to get 200 people to pre-order for them to even commit to doing it, to show them that there was actually customers interested in the product. Otherwise, they weren't going to do it. Now they said for future ones, we can just skip the 200 thing because they just trust. So we've made connections that'll make future projects easier, but no hate to them at all, but the longest step at this point is getting word back from the people who have to give me permission from ArenaNet. What would you have done if you had more than 1,000 sales? We talked about this. If we had hit the cap of 1,000 with lots of time left in the campaign, I was going to reach out to ArenaNet and ask if it would be okay to raise the cap. However, if we didn't hit the cap, or if we were just getting close to hitting the cap near the end of the campaign time, I was not going to worry about it because there's no need to ask them for another favor if I don't need to. So it ended up, we ended in like around 750. So it was fine. I didn't need to say anything. Blish and Goric do not separate. I bet Rooksie would buy a Blish or a Goric plush. How many were ordered? 746. Actually more than that. I think
What in the blazes happened to you two?
I think 770 something were ordered, but 20 or 30 of them, the credit cards declined. So the counter went up and then back down a little bit. So I hope that those people don't get too upset that they don't have one on the way. Because there was like 20 or 30 people that pre-ordered for like, they paid $2 to pre-order. Then it was time to pay the other $28 for the 30 total dollars. And then their credit cards declined, so they just got their 2 refunded. So, they were interested, but then it defaulted. I forget, is Blish an AI? Blish is Gorik's brother's mind either transferred or copied into a machine before his biological body died. Sometimes people forget they spent money. Yeah. I would hope transferred and not copied, because if it's copied, then you end up with a Soma situation, which was horrifying. Soma was a game that made me, like, have to evaluate what I thought was right and wrong. Like, after finishing Soma, I just sat there for, like, 10 minutes, like... You know, trying to piece it all together. Isn't Blish, gone? Yeah, I don't want to talk about that too much because of spoilers, Iski. Not everyone's where we are in the story. But you're partly right. Soma, do you have an existential crisis? No. Soma, would you like to?
There we go.
I love how on this quest we beat the hell out of these animals, then tranquilize them. We could tranquilize them first, but no. We want them to know what's up.
Hopefully this data helps.
Are we the baddies? Well, last night we did kill 2 owlbears and steal their kid, so...
Great work, everyone.
Yes.
Let's get these specimens back to base.
Thank you all for your help. Perhaps one day we will be able to prevent this from happening again.
Alright, how are we doing on our count right now? 210 Curious Mursat Ruins. We're getting there. Our goal is 250 before the Leggy Backpack comes out. I think they might be tradable. No, account bound on a card. They're not tradable. Okay. Well, it's good that I'm doing that this time. Soma was so good. My only complaint is the last 2 scenes should have been swapped in order. That would have, yeah, that would have been pretty impactful. So you're saying like that show the happy bit, then go back and show the not happy bit after, rather than show the not happy bit then the happy bit. I'm trying to be vague. I don't want to ruin Soma for someone who hasn't played it. What's the backpack you speak of? In 2 weeks they're adding a new legendary backpack to the game, and we can kind of guesstimate a lot of the ingredients that it's going to use, and I'm farming some of them right now from Mistborn Barrens. When's the last Janthir patch? 2 weeks.
No Name Found rated my stream with 19 viewers.
No Name Found! Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome. Also, while I was having that last conversation, Mystery God 24 in Silktarius A, thank you for the Prime subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Amazon Prime subs are a massive help. I really appreciate that. Any info about Pish? Yeah, there's the push blog post is out, and I already did a video of me going over what was in the blog post and posted that. If you mean like trying it out, the game mode will be available to try out, and I think 95 minutes. And my morning stream goes for another half hour, so I'll get to try it out this evening for the first time. Much love, brother. Favorite character in Guild Wars 2. That is very kind of you. Thank you, No Name. Thanks for 10 million guides on how to play this game. You're welcome. I'm glad they still help people.
And keep the construct energized. Alia, you go right. Wayfinder,
Collecting any concentrated energy you find along the way would be of great help.
Do we know what the backpack is going to look like?
There's an abundance of
No, but the precursor backpack has fish on it.
with your war claw.
Where did I put that?
If you're feeling bold.
Let's move.
Back? Oh, there it is. That's the precursor backpack right now. It's got like a green fish and a red fish and a blue fish on a disc. I'll put this in the bank. Nah. Running around with a fish backpack in a crystal desert. Yes. Mug, you've also inspired me to run the Char newbie zone several times this week. How did I inspire you to run the Char newbie zone? You're gonna have to explain that one. Mug, pineapple pizza is yummy, right? You know what? I have to give you an honest answer here. I have never tried it. However, although I like pineapple and I like pizza, when I mentally imagine those two flavors combined, I recoil a little bit. So I haven't tried it, but I don't like the idea of it.
Down in the valley, they are screaming.
Oh god. Oh no! Oh wow, I almost messed that up. Then you'll hate apples on pizza? I probably would hate that. You know what I do love on pizza? You know? Don't want to get too crazy here. Extra cheese. Just like cheese, pepperoni, and then by God, an extra layer of cheese on top of the pepperoni. Oh! Get real crazy. Like, if I want to feel my body dehydrating when I bite into it. Just shriveling up into a human raisin, just, yes, so good. You're convinced me of having pizza for dinner? I didn't start this conversation. Pineapple Boy did. I like a Costco cheese pizza. Yeah, kind of like a calzone. And if you don't know what a calzone is, it's like a shy pizza. Hot take: Chalice of Tears ain't hard. That one volcano jumping puzzle in Draconis Mons, though, holy moly. I've done Chalice of Tears on my own twice. Both times involved the prototype position rewinder. So anytime I missed a jump, I rewound, and watching a YouTube guide with the path. And both times took like 15 to 20 minutes. So it is an arduous task with the ability to rewind.
That may be where the source of this concentrated agony can be found. Wait. I sent something.
Draconis Mons one. I don't know if I've ever done the Draconis Mons one or if I always TP'd to a friend just to skip it. I might have just TP'd to a friend on that one. Muck, you mad genius. You got me to do the Char newbie zone. How? Chalice of Tears is fun once you learn what the jumps are. I've learned what the jumps are. I don't know that I'd call it fun, but some people might like it. It's funny though, these days, anytime I play any other game, if like a jumping puzzle type thing comes up, like last night, or yesterday morning I was playing Expedition 33 and we hit a jumping puzzle area, and is immediately, it's like, oh, it's Chalice of Tears! Like that's the first thing that hits them. It's like PTSD. It's Chalice of Tears, not Chalice of Joy. Maybe they're happy tears. Chalice of happy tears. Chalice of Tears makes me cry in the sense that my eyes start tearing up and I'm seeing double and also get a huge headache. That bad. Wow. We are having pizza for dinner. Hubby makes it from scratch. Oh, man. My wife makes some good homemade pizza, too. Sometimes she makes the pizza, and it's delicious. Other times she goes the extra mile, and she puts, like, garlic butter on the crust. And it's like, it's crack. It's so good. But she doesn't always, like, sometimes she makes the pizza and she doesn't have any energy left, and she's like, I didn't do the extra delicious stuff, so deal with it. And I'm just like, okay. Yes, ma'am. There's a place near me that we order from time to time called Jet's Pizza, and they do
Thank you, Wayfinder.
what is it? God, is it Chicago style? Dude, there's Chicago style and Detroit style and New York style, and I get them all confused because I'm dumb. Hang on a sec, I'll just show you a picture.
The construct has crushed its first opponent.
Okay, hold on. Here, it's like this. Like every piece is an end piece, and the end pieces are actually delicious. Someone in chat said Detroit style. Okay, so we order this from time to time, and they have a thing that they'll do for free if you just ask for it, called Turbo Crust. And it's basically 3 ingredients. They put garlic butter, Parmesan cheese, and Roma around the whole edge of the pizza. And it basically turns the crust into breadsticks. And it's like we'll fight over the crust. It's the only pizza where everyone at the table's like, you gonna finish that crust? Like, everyone will go to blows for it. For free? Yeah, it's a free topping. Have you tried Disco Volante? Nope, I've never met him. Detroit style is what Hubs is making. Nice. In Germany, you would pay like 10 euro bucks extra for this. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying the pizza's free. I'm saying just that topping around the perimeter of the pizza's free. That's it. You generally pay extra for something like that in America as well. So, the pizza places where I live, Domino's always puts some seasoning on their crust, but sometimes they skimp on it. There's a place called Marco's. Marco's does free crust toppers if you ask, and then Jets does the free crust toppers if you ask. Toppings, of course, you pay extra per topping, but the things they call crust toppers, those are just request. What is this? At Mukluk. Imagine a calzone, but instead of flipping the dough over and baking it, you add mushrooms and shrimp to the calzone filling. Then add another pizza dough on top of that and bake it that way. The finished product looks like a flying saucer, so therefore the Disco Volante. Oh, so it's just a double calzone. Gotcha. When's the final patch? 2 weeks. There is a small update today where they're bringing back a PvP game mode that they've been building. And then 2 weeks till the next big Janthir, the final big Janthir patch happens. Peesh, yes, Peesh. I don't care what kind of pizza as long as it's stuffed crust. Oh, man. The only place I think around here, well, it's actually not even near me. The only place in my region that does that, I think, is Pizza Hut. And it is really good. It's also really filling. Like, it's like if you stuff the crust with cheese too, it's like suddenly I can eat half as many slices as normal. My wife's like, how is it? I'm like, I am fat. I work in IT, but now I work from home. I used to drive an hour to work every day, and there's a Jets in that town. Haven't had turbo in so long. I mean, I bet you're saving a lot on gas money, which you can use to buy more pizza. Dude, I used to drive an hour a day. It was 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes home. And I gotta say, my gas bill went way down when my commute started becoming walk downstairs. Stop talking about food, I'm hungry. Ruxi, at your train thing, could you put like a little oven rack in there above the coal you're shoveling in and cook pizzas? Make use of the heat so it doesn't go to waste. Easy. Just don't spray water on the pizza when you're spraying water in there to break. The ultimate train locomotive, just spitting out pizzas as you're going. Domino's and Papa John's already started stuffed crust pizzas. There's not a Papa John's near me. I didn't know Domino's started that. We've already done sausages, chocolate, banana, steaks, and more. He's like, joke's on you, we already do that. Yes, yeah. Most stuffed crust here in the United Kingdom is not good. It's like someone stuffed a pizza crust with the rim of a car door. The rim of a car door. How do you know what the rim of a car door tastes like? What the heck? 2.5 hours less driving a day is meh. I commute downstairs now, same as you. Nice. High five through the internet. The trim, if you will. I've seen some memes that, like, because you know how the new Pope is from Chicago? I've seen some jokes about him eating like a Chicago-style pizza in the Vatican, and all the other people there that are Italian are like, just horrified at what they're seeing. There are questions we never asked, Muck, please. It's 4 a.m. and some alcohol. What's the easiest Leggy armor to get? Ooh, okay, an actual question. Leggy armor. So there's 3 types of Leggy armor. There's PvP, raiding, and Obsidian legendary armor from open world. So Obsidian legendary armor you can work on completely on your own, but it takes the longest amount of man hours. Oh wait, there's World v World as well. Sorry, there's 4 types. World v World also takes an incredible amount of man hours, but the responsibility isn't that much on you. You just gotta follow a blob of people around for many tens of hours to get your stuff. PvP, the responsibility is on you, because if you win, you earn it faster than when you lose your games. So you want to, be putting in some effort there. And raiding is the one that will take you the least amount of man hours to get, but those man hours are divided up. One, you gotta find a raid group, and let's say you do raids on Monday night. That's it. Your next thing is next Monday night. So one night a week you do raids, and you're making progress on all your Leggy armors for raiding. But you have to find a raid group and learn the raid bosses. But that one takes the least amount of man hours to get, but requires more people. I would say the PvE Obsidian armor takes a lot of man hours to get, but it only requires you. PvP and World v World are kind of in between the two of those. Sometimes when I get tired but I can't sleep, I just meditate on thinking like a mollusk. I imagine... What? I'm not reading the rest of that out loud. Have a good day! I would say Obsidian can be passively farmed over time, though. Yes. I saw Leggy armor like this. Raiding, you need a team. PvP, you need to win. World v World, you need to grind. PvE, it's just you. I got full Obsidian armor about a month. Raid armor is the fastest, but only the first set. Only Obsidian armor is not gated, and in 40 days of playing Soto 2 to 3 hours a day, I finished a whole set. Hardest part of raiding is getting into it, learning all the raid mechanics, and finding a group. Yeah, there's this one YouTuber that made this series of guides called Get to the Point, where every boss is explained in like a minute or two. That made it way more approachable. Just pull those up whenever you go raiding. It's easy. God bless that guy. Raid armor is really easy if you know the raids, you enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, with any game with raids, the first raid is the toughest one because you're learning the mechanics. His name is Mighty Teapot. Listen here, you little scrit. Thanks for setting up all the Mukluk Plays playlists. Found the one I missed before I watched you, Valheim. Nice. Yeah, dude, there is... I'd have to check. There's over 10,000 videos on Mukluk Plays. Like, it is grown a lot. Like, in terms of viewership, the main channel is, of course, much larger. But in terms of, like, amount of stuff to watch for people who enjoy binging, like, streams and stuff, there is, like, 10,000 videos on Mukluk Plays. It's crazy. Yeah, shameless plug. It's pinned at the top of the chat. For anyone who doesn't know about it, my second YouTube channel, Mukluk Plays, there is a playlist for each game that we do on stream. So if you're like, oh, you know, he played Expedition 33 every weekday morning, and I can't make that time, well, all of it is, you know, cut out and put into one playlist on there, so you can binge watch it whenever you want, if you wish to.
Can we help them?
I thought the person with all the guides was Mighty Potato. No, it was Iron Ranity.
We've never been able to cure it
Common
in
mistake.
wildlife.
Then we'll do what we have to.
Nice thumbnail. Thank you, Bio. Chat helped to make it. They're very skilled at making thumbnails, aren't you, chat? I'll be like, chat, how do I kick this thumbnail up a notch? And some guy will be like, butter! And I'm just like, okay. Oh, the good music's over. Any other ideas? Bacon. Yeah. Just one word screaming. Some guy will be like, add a llama! Why a llama? Add the llama! Okay. God. I'm of the opinion that runes are more valuable than armor, but that depends a lot on playstyle, runes and sigils. I don't know exactly how much, like, how valuable rune is versus armor versus sigil, but, I mean, eventually you want to get all of that covered.
A mercy at this point. He will suffer
I can't get into this map. I kind of like what they tried to do here, where you can just do infinite small metas over and over and over, kind of like Silver Waste, and then you could just join or leave whenever you want. I like that. It's not my favorite map, but I certainly don't think it's a flop, you know? What is your favorite map or event? There's a few I like. Like, I like Octovine, not because I like doing Octovine, but because I like opening the 30 treasure chests after Octovine. It makes my brain make happy juice. So I do Octovine a lot. Dragon's Stand is really fun. Just, like, the whole thing is fun. The music is a jam. I really enjoy Dragon's Stand. Drizzlewood Coast is alright. I do that one from time to time. The Seitung meta in Cantha, I like, because the final boss is actually a bit dangerous. Like, as someone who enjoys healing, like, people are actually taking damage on that, whereas, you know, there's so many other metas where the players are basically invulnerable. Jakar's alright? Yeah, Jakar's alright. I like the Mistburn Barneys. You like the Mistburn Barneys? How many spirit shards do you have? I don't know. 11k, apparently. Is the final part of Janthir coming out in 2 weeks, or are they postponing it? According to their website, it currently says in 2 weeks. I don't know if that is changing, but it currently says 2 weeks. I read it like they were not going to delay current content, but only current expansion, but only next expansion. Yeah, I think the next expansion is not coming out on my birthday. It's been unfortunate. I've had a couple of birthday streams where Janthir just came out and Soto just came out and the Steam launch happened, and yo, I gotta say, those are great for business. Because whenever a streamer has like a birthday stream, typically they have way higher viewership those days. And then add on top of that like the Steam launch or the Janthir launch, and it is like, woo! Big days. Monk, what's your current goals of Guild Wars 2? Just have fun, man. I've already beaten the game. I'm just playing for fun and hanging out with y'all on Tuesdays, doing giveaways, stuff like that. Pretty near 100% of the coin I earn in game at this point just gets funneled into various giveaways just to give stuff out.
When I touched its mind, I felt
dude, oh my god, I'm gonna rant for a second, chat. I'm ranting. Dude, I posted a YouTube short the other day of someone asking me, they pop in chat, they're like, Mukluk, Monkey. And I'm like, what? And they're like, give me free bags. And I'm like, what's your in-game name? And they're like, oh, really? And they give me their in-game name, and I opened up a mail, and I sent them a mail, and it said, don't beg in chat, it's rude. And I thought it was funny, so I turned it into a YouTube short. Chat, so many people thought it was funny too, but there was also a lot of people that were like, Muck, oh my god, the Guild Wars community thinks that they're so nice, look at how you behave, oh my god, you're just the worst, and I'm like, boy, I give out like 1,000 gold every week. I don't think I'm a bad person because I don't just suddenly, you know, buckle over anytime someone walks up and says, free stuff now. Like, I'm the bad person in that exchange? Come on. Dude, there was one guy that got snippy with me in the YouTube comments section. He's like, "Oh my god, he's like, you know, give me his name so I can mail him a bag if you're gonna be rude about it." And I sent him back this reply, and I was like, "I give out 1,000 gold worth of stuff at certain times every week, but outside of that, I get dozens, if not hundreds, of people begging me for stuff." Constantly. I cannot give them all this stuff. However, since you're so kind, if you will give me your in-game name, I will save it, and everyone that asks me for a bag going forward, I will send them your name, and they can contact you for a bag. Chat, he did not reply. I wonder, yeah. Could have turned around and just sent a small bag from a vendor. Just the smallest bag possible. Go to the TP, buy the bag that other players start with. Mug, I would like 1 butter, not 1 stack, just 1 butter. My toast is naked. Naked toast. You know, for a long time, I thought you had to walk up to the edge of the cliff and get line of sight, but you don't. You can, like, click on it and it'll just shoot through the floor. I wasted a lot of time early on in this meta thinking you needed direct LOS. You don't.
Binding holds. Now, construct speaks to me. A relic.
Hungriness is too strong to get some food on an ice stream. See you, Rooksy. Have a good one.
But history leaves its mark. The war.
I enjoyed talking about driving trains with you.
Wrath and ruin took so long.
I hope he would love to see Ain't pull a prank and none of these mats being farmed or for the new backpack. That would be kind of troll but funny at the same time. What's the actual or about total gold when making a 32 slot bag? It's changed over time. The main thing is there's this item called Supreme Rune of Holding. And the price of that item kind of determines the cost of the bags. And right now, they're around 13 gold. There was a time period where they were in the 20s. They're, like, if you craft most bags, I think they use, like, 12 of these. But if you make a reinforced boreal trunk, I think it uses, like, 8. I don't remember the exact count, but reinforced boreal trunks require less runes of holding than other bags. That is true. So if you make reinforced boreal trunks, that's the cheapest 32 slot bag that you could spam. There are some other 32 slot bags, like there's one from Sandswept Isle you get for free just for doing an achievement. There's one from the Season of the Dragons you get for free just for doing achievements. Like, but aside from those, the reinforced boreal trunk is the only one that you can just spam it out.
They die, clawing at the walls.
My in-game name is Ned4827. Can I get some bags or butter or something? Since I set my mesmer up to be a tailor, to be able to do ecto refinement, I just sew all my bags because I like the saddlebag icon. That's fine. That was kind of scary. I forgot about the mist in the air, and when my war call hit the mist, it dismounted me, but I had just coming over the ground. Since I set my mesmer up to be a tailor to be able to do active refinement, I sew all my bags just because I like the saddlebag icon. Good evening, Mug. Hi, Necro. You need to be an armorer to make boreals, I guess. I think armor or leather. I don't recall. Hang on. It's been so long. Give me a second. Leather worker, armor smith, or tailor can make it. Okay, so it takes 12 Supreme Runes of Holding to make a reinforced boreal trunk. Where's one of the others? Give me a second. All right, 12, 17, 18. It takes 18 runes to make a tailor one. So, like, the tailored saddlebag is 18 runes. And it takes 12 runes to make the trunk. So, that's going to save you around, like, 80 gold. Per bag. World v World 32 slot takes 12 too. Yeah, the World v World bag is relatively recent. Because, you know, I've played this game for so long. That was added to the game basically yesterday, so I don't know that one that much. Level the crafting to 400 is already a pain. I don't have the heart to make it to 500. There's a useful resource.
Let's get underway.
Is it crafts.net? Okay, here we go. GW2uesday has these things called fast guides. And you can be like, I want to level jewel crafting to max level. And you can put in your API key and it'll scan your account and be like, all right, here's what you have, here's what you need. Buy these missing things and then make this, then 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 this, you're done.
Welcome.
Really, really useful site if you want to power level a trade skill to max level in the shortest amount of time possible. It's very handy. And like I said, if you put in your API key, it can scan your account and tell you what you already have the mats for. Dennis? I said and this, not Dennis, Dennis.
With rage and desperation in their hearts. And I gave them sweet oblivion.
They also show the cheapest way? I think so.
Perhaps as their minds
I haven't needed to use that service in a couple years, but I've used it many times in the
realize
past.
the folly of their actions, their hubris. A fleeting moment of clarity before the end. Acquire a broken souls swelling in despair. Such a lovely sound.
Leave the basin now.
Leave the basin! Which site was that? GW2crafts.net. Now, one of the very early, like, first 5 guides I ever made was basics of crafting, and I remember I plugged it in that video, and it's still accurate.
More souls for the choir.
I've just seen your current build inspire me to make my own Astero Ranger. It's been great so far. Nice. Is there a similar way for legendary crafts like GW2 crafts? The wiki has a checklist. Or sorry, not the wiki. I misspoke. GW2 efficiency has a checklist. So if you go,
I shall find a place in the choir for you.
let's see. Please enter a craftable thing. All right. Club. Okay, hold on a sec.
They will hear us in Nios.
All right, so I've searched like Club Journey gear on here. Wait, what am I? Hold on. It's a recipe search? Crafting. Club Journey. I think I was in the wrong section. Is it because I'm not logged in? Hang on.
The agony is building. Get out of there quickly.
It's not letting me log in. Log in. Give me a sec, give me a sec, give me a sec, give me a sec. Okay, I don't know. It's misbehaving right now. Anyway, the efficiency is supposed to look just like when you use this. Like, here's a legendary, and it's like, okay, you need these 4 items. Okay, what do I need to make this? Expand. What do I need for that? Expand. And it makes a checklist, right? The GW2 efficiency, I don't know why it's being weird for me right now, but it has this, and then this, what you see right here, is from the Mystic Crafting Blish HUD module, which basically shows you what the efficiency shows you, but it shows it to you in-game so you don't have to alt-tab. Useful for people that only have one monitor. And if you need a guide on Blish HUD modules like Mystic Crafting, if you do !Blish in the chat, I did make a whole series for them. So those are there if you need them.
I shall find a place in the choir for you, and together we will sing so loudly they will hear us in Nios.
She's gathering agony. Leave the basin now.
It's kind of funny how this whole battle is basically a Pokemon fight. Like, Alia and that other lady over there both sending down big minions that are fighting in the pit.
Insolent worms.
And she's like, quick, throw super potions down there. Come to think of it, Jormak and Primordius were also a Pokemon battle. Is it safe down there? It's probably safe down there, right? I think it's safe down here, chat.
For every one of us they struck down, we reaped dozens. Not so much soldiers in a war as they were insects underfoot.
Don't let Nintendo hear that. Reminds me of, there was some fans that recently made a Bionicle game, and it took them like 8 years to make it, and Lego just basically did legal action to make them turn it off. Which isn't really surprising, but it's like Lego, this should be proof that people want to play the IP. You should make something. Do something with it. Like, imagine owning an IP and not doing something with it, chat. Like, who would do that? Silly.
The agony is building. Get out of there, quickly.
I'm out! I'm not out! Ah! Glide! It won't glide! Blah, 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 blah. It won't glide. Shadebot, please! Please! Oh! The updraft works on the friggin' cat! I didn't know! I was trying so hard to skyscale out of there and it was on cooldown. Mount up? I was trying on the wrong mount though. I was trying to mount on the Skyscale. Eight years, oh my god, if you're gonna strike them down, do it after the first year. To be fair, I mean, they probably didn't take notice of it after year one, but yeah.
A momentary crack in her defenses. Attack her now.
Insolent worms.
Oh no! My legs! Can't move. Ugh, this meta's taking longer than I thought it would. You gone throwing hands down here. After 13 years of playing WoW daily with 24,000 hours, 10 months ago I swapped from WoW to Guild Wars 2. Thanks to this lovely man, I made and sold 5 Clob Jarny Spears. Easy 15k gold, sold a few EOD and general weapons as well. Big cheers, Buck. Nice, Ned. I'm glad you found another game you can enjoy. I played WoW, I don't know how many hours, but I played WoW for many years as well. So I'm glad you could find another game that you enjoy that much. But that guy had to really think about whether or not he was dead for a while. GG. Yeah, the only legendary I've ever made more than one of, like, was Clob Jarny, and I made 4 of them. Like, I just made the 4th one the other day. Like, it is a very easy legend to make, for sure. Alright. Misslock. Big stretch. I'm too lazy since I already have 1 legendary spear. I can't even be bothered to make 1 spear. Yeah, I made 1 for me. I made 1 and sold it. I made 1 and gave it away. And now I've got 1 more in the bank. We'll see. Alright, chat. With that, I am out of time. I am out of time. I need to wrap it up here, but a couple plugs on the way out. Thank you guys for being here. If you're new to my channel, be sure to hit that follow button if you're on Twitch. Subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube right now. It's a huge help. A couple of upcoming things. One, the Push game mode for Guild Wars 2 comes out in 1 hour. I will not be able to stream at that time. I will be back later tonight. I'll try it out. So if you're interested in that, that's in an hour. Next Monday, I will have streamed every day for 7 years because I'm crazy. We're celebrating that on Sunday because it's a weekend. So on this coming Sunday, we will be streaming Guild Wars 2 pretty much the whole day. If you wish to tune in and hang out with us, I have got at least 10,000 gold worth of stuff to give away. Some very juicy prizes down here the community put together. And I'll have a bunch of gem codes to give away as well. So if you happen to have some free time on Sunday, stop in, say hi. You might win some free stuff. As always, hit the follow button, hit subscribe. These are links to my 2 YouTube channels if you're not already subbed to those, and a very special thank you to our patrons. They keep this channel alive with their support. I could not do this without them. There's a link to that in the chat if you want to be a supporter. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I am going to find someone to raid in the Twitch section for Guild Wars 2, just to support the Guild Wars 2 community. If you guys will give me just a second, let me see who is live right now that I know. I don't know most of the people. I know Peachy. I rated Peachy once this week. I'd like to spread the love, but I don't think I know anybody else here, so I'm not sure if they're safe bets. The longer I wait, the less people there will be. So I'll go ahead and we'll get Peachy. She is good peeps. She is good peeps. All right. And there we go. All right, as I said, I'll be back tonight if you wish to join me in about 5 hours. And for those of you here for special events, I will see you Sunday. There.
Got to vote on what was it?
And to YouTube as well.
The Captain's Council
Have a good
day.
I'll be back tonight.
They would each, you actually got to choose